Hey, how's it going? It's me, it's RDV, on a special Wednesday night edition of, well, you haven't guessed, it's the best comic books of the week. Uh, Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We figured, Zach had some time off, and we figured, might as well just go tonight instead of have me go tomorrow by myself. Just show you for 30 minutes.
Nobody wants Finkman by himself on a stream.
Although I could have lasted 30 minutes, at least 30 to 45 minutes. I got a lot of books.
I'm glad you added books at the end there. So that's to say, that's what she said. Anyway,
Right. And
no, yeah. So I hope. Yeah, this was actually weird because I had to I went to the shop today at like noon, got my books, and I had to speed read through them because I had other stuff. Like I went to the gym earlier,
I
and
read
so
my
I was
I
yeah.
read my DC books last night.
Okay.
So
Arg.
arg. You know what? I still buy the physical. I don't
Hey,
care.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. If
I
you're if
almost
yeah,
did that.
I'll just say that I read digital, but I buy the physical. And sometimes you gotta wait for the digital before it gets cheap enough where you can actually read it.
Hmm.
Uh, but overall, uh, yeah, I get most of my floppies, and yeah. That being said, I got at least 12 books here.
Oh, you got 12? Oh shoot, you
Yeah,
got way more
I
than
get
I did.
plus
Golly.
plus I picked up some other issues too.
I
That
picked I picked up a book today I did not know was coming out. I did not see it on the new comic releases last night, and so it surprised me when I saw this in the shop. I was
I
genuinely surprised.
I got myself a hidden gem because I knew the series came out, but it's impossible to get this because it's a British-based company publishing it.
Hmm.
And the fact that I was able to, I even found that because it's a mini series.
Okay.
I have the first one, and now I have the fifth one. I just need two, three, four. And I talked to, yeah, so I'll get to that when I show that. But first, I'm gonna go and say hello to Ed Brewer and anybody else who might be listening. For those who are first time listeners, what we do here is we basically every Tuesday nights, Zach and I go over our pull list for the week, and we choose 5 books what we think are going to be our best, of the week, and then so when it comes to today, we see if that's true, if it holds up, and that's kind of the fun because everybody can participate. If you're especially reading the books, even if you have a top three, does your top three change from Tuesday night? What you think is going to be the best, and you know, turn out to be, hey, you know what? I only have one book there. It's just kind of cool to see, because sometimes we get excited for books, and the books that let us down. But other times, it's like it's books that we didn't expect to be that great that surprise us.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then a lot of times we forget about books that are actually to put them on our pull list because we forget they're coming out. So that's the fun part too. Um, Also, if you haven't already done so, please click like and also subscribe if you haven't done so. Because why not? We do a lot of content here. We review TV shows, we review comic book movies, comic book news. We do something about that. We also do some reading on here too as well. There is a down in the description down below on the YouTube. There is a Ko-fi.com. If you want to donate money, you're welcome to. You don't have to. Obviously, out of the kindness of your heart, you can a dollar to whatever you want to. Where does the money go to? What goes to the Marvel and the DC reading apps that we subscribe to basically per year, payments, and it also goes towards basically the StreamYard, which is a monthly recurring expense. So you can also share out the stream. You can leave a comment down below, or just even interact when we're live. All these things help the channel, boost the channel, get it shared out to other people.
That's
Building,
right. Let people know, hey, do you want to know what comics these two guys on YouTube thought were cool? Come check us out.
right.
And also, if you bought any new comics today and you've had a chance to read them, be sure to put in the chat what you read and let us know because you might be picking up something that we hadn't thought to pick up. And I like to know about stuff that's going on, other books that are out there. So, yeah. Anyway.
Uh, anyway,
Anyway, but how long has it been since you heard that?
not long enough. All right. Hello to Marania. Happy early Thanksgiving to you as well. My Thanksgiving will be starting around probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow when I have to put the turkey.
Are you frying it?
We have a roaster to put it
Oh,
into.
okay.
Yeah,
I think my dad's picking up a fried turkey.
just go in the store. He's going to Denny's. You guys got a turkey I can just take? I'll go buy a whole one.
Well, we normally go to my grandparents down in Metairie, or which is like a subdivision of New Orleans, and my uncle will actually fry one, but he doesn't want to try because that's actually a lot of people try to fry turkeys on Thanksgiving, and a lot of houses burn down because people don't know what they're doing.
Because is he doing it in a garbage can?
No, there's special fryer containers that you use. So they're not
Okay,
garbage cans. Yeah.
I've seen people do that. They try to do a deep
I
fry.
actually I believe people would try to do that.
The aluminum ones, yes, I've heard of people doing those, and they yeah, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? But yeah, Maranya says that roasted my turkey and vegetable sides today. I'll get a head start. Might as well. I mean, it's just me and another person here, so maybe we're only having we're not doing anything for Thanksgiving on Thursday, but we're
Right.
still making a turkey, so we got a small turkey. Yeah, that's the other thing too. A lot of stores don't have the toms; they have the hens out. I guess there's a shortage. They can't really find the bigger ones because the past couple of years I've been I can find 24 pounders or 26.
Yeah.
I found like a 22 was the biggest.
I think my dad said he found like a 13 or a 15. So
Yeah,
yeah.
the hens. Yeah, and I'm. That's the thing though. We always go for the bigger turkeys because the turkeys sometimes you get all bone.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like I imagine going for small and it's like you have that problem. It's like
That's
here's your
all
one
bone.
slice.
Yeah, right. And
It's like
plus, it sucks because like my brother and my dad, they love to do the sandwiches the next day with it. So like, if there's no leftovers, then it's just like it's gonna be
yeah.
miserable for a lot of people.
Here's a question: light meat or dark meat? What is your favorite?
You know what I'm gonna say? Actually, no. I do love the turkey leg. If I can get a turkey leg, it's a good day. But outside of that, I do like the white meat. I like the texture of it a little bit more.
I'm more of the dark meat because it's more greasy, more juice flour flavored. Where
Yeah,
the dry the other one's kind of more dry, even though we
it
keep it
it is it is a bit more dry, but I kind of like that because I feel like if you get the gravy on it or
yeah.
something, it adds to it
True.
and enhances it.
True, that is one thing. If those who basically have too much turkey, you know what you try to turkey sandwiches, you
Yeah,
can do the gravy. You get the
there you
Heinz
go.
gravy sauce,
Yeah.
mix it in. I chop suey ruined it for me at schools. I went with the public school. That's all. It's like chop suey. I'm like, ugh, looks like I'm in prison. It's just like mashed potatoes, and there's like this is like, ugh. So, uh, speaking of Chinese food, Zach's food's here.
You guessed
uh,
it.
Chicken, it's white meat. Turkey is dark meat. And
Ain't nothing wrong
Mar-
with that.
yeah, Morocco too. Actually, I entered his house. She's there for the food. She's not for that for the chat. Yeah. Look, cool. You can do the shopping points. Kroger has this here, and Roundy's has always had it too. They can discontinued it. Basically, you spend $25, and then you get basically using your card. You get basically, um, you can get the Kroger one for 59 cents a pound. I think it was
Hmm.
with a $25 purchase separately,
Oh, okay.
or you get the basically the Butterball, which is $1
Oh,
per
nice.
pound.
Yeah.
Problem with those, it's like butterballs don't taste as good
I like the butterballs.
compared to some of the regular brands.
I mean,
Yeah, and
yeah,
well,
maybe.
and my dad used to say, he's like, there really is no difference. It's just you're just paying more for a bird that tastes the same as the cheaper one.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
Yeah, you know, but overall, yeah. So yeah, tomorrow is gonna be we're gonna cook the 17 pounder. You got one of those, and then just gonna do the stuffing, have some rolls, make some fruit cocktail. You ever had that where you basically mix it with Cool Whip?
No, I can't say I have.
It's actually pretty good. You just take basically the can of fruit cocktail mix, put it in some Cool Whip, and here you go. You got a little dessert. It's really good
Normally,
too. Serve chilled.
my go-to dessert for Thanksgiving is pecan pie.
Uh,
Like
Pecan.
pecan, not pecan, pecan.
Pick,
People down
pick,
here say
pick on,
pecan. I'm just like,
pick on pie.
come on, guys.
All right. I like butterballs. Hello to Rhaegar.
Thanks, Rhaegar. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. God,
All
I love him
right.
in here.
Our store you have to earn. What store is this? Is it? I mean, is this like a mom and pop store, or like is it a chain store, grocer? Just curious because I understand like certain states might have their own thing. I mean, we had Roundy's here, and Roundy's was basically a state thing. Kroger is more of an international, or not international, but more
we
country
don't have
nationwide.
we don't have a Kroger's down here actually. You've got to go up into like I think Arkansas before we see a Kroger's.
Go up into Arkansas.
Yeah, go up into Arkansas. It's north of us.
Oh, is it
So
really? Okay, I
yeah,
thought.
I'm in Louisiana. We're like between the Gulf of Mexico and Arkansas.
Uh,
So yeah, but you got to go up there though. We don't have any Kroger's over here.
so it's
At least
called
not that I know
Giant.
of.
Is it what you call it to? Okay. Hmm. Mix crushed pineapple with Cool Whip and freeze it. Okay.
Hmm.
No, I don't like pineapple.
Oh, I love pineapple. Pineapple's amazing.
That's why pineapples belong under the sea because no one likes them. All right. That
You ready
being
to get this
said,
party started?
or this feast or banquet, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever. This comic
All right.
review piece.
Cover review also. And also for those who are watching us, after we're done, go check out the Graphic Man's channel. The fossils are streaming right now as we are. Even if you really want to, you can leave a tab open and watch both of us if you want to. Have one of the sound down. I'm
Exactly.
not hurt. It's still view time. Um, why is Kansas and Arkansas? Oh yeah, I guess. Why is AR Kansas in Kansas? I don't know.
I saw a TikTok video about this a few years ago. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know why they're pronounced differently. Because
I
the
feel like
English language is dumb.
well, weren't they both colonized by the French? Like
Mm,
Louisiana Purchase and all that stuff. Weren't you like wasn't that whole section right there?
Louisiana was
Yeah,
colonized
but
by the French.
Arkansas is.
I don't know about Arkansas.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas was like French, fur traders and all that stuff.
Oh, maybe. Who
Or it could
knows?
be, or maybe Arkansas is basically like it was originally part of Kansas and they decided to basically change their own the new state. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Mm,
You know, most of the states, or our cities are, especially up here or from we have the Chippewa tribes and all stuff. The Native Americans. So,
mhm.
but Marnie says she's double timing right now, watching both y'all and fossils. All right, cool. Like I said, I hate stepping on their toes, but man, that's the name of the game. When it comes to YouTube, there's always somebody streaming, and especially if you like more than one channel, it's hard because it's who do you choose? But the joys of being able to watch people on replay. So, well, and we're gonna keep this short, so don't have to worry about that. We're going about 2 hour streams, unless you like the podcast stuff overall. But let's jump right into this, and we've been stalling too much, hoping for more people, but um. For those of you who are watching the replay, I hope you guys have had a safe Thanksgiving, and you guys drive safe.
Yeah, watch out on those roads.
Watch out for reindeer, and especially up here. It's mating season for all kinds of deer.
Is it really?
Yes, well, we have snow deer. You guys have the rain one down by you. We don't get the rain up here anymore.
We don't get reindeer. We have like elk or something.
I will certainly tell you what they do, young lady.
Ooh.
Check out Imperial Goddess over on Twitch. She screams and laughs at her own jokes and plays video games.
Hey, what's wrong with laughing at your own jokes? I do that all the time.
It's only you're doing it, Zach. I have a problem with it. But when she
Oh,
does
okay.
it, yeah. No, she has a very infectious laugh. Basically, you'll start laughing too because it's just like you just feel like everybody's on drugs because that's how infectious her laugh is.
A laugh that's so good you'll think you're on drugs. I like that.
You should. I mean, I love what she says. I mean, you can tell me, but I won't listen. I'm wild. Yeah, I'm surprised even because usually she's streaming and she has a tab open for us. So I'm shocked that she even listens in. So I gotta be careful what I say now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't praise her anymore. I can't praise that channel. Didn't think she'll be nice then. She expected it all the time. Well, someone has to laugh at Zach's jokes. Might as well be Zach.
Oh, oh, he's right. But wow, you had to phrase it like that. Thanks, Evil Black Cat.
All right.
Thank you. Him and Rhaegar, they're like double teaming. They're coming for me tonight.
They're brothers from other mothers. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They're the new tag team champions.
They are.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with my number 12. And I basically got this cooked because I wanted to basically continue the story. I hate starting a story, especially if it's only like 5 issues, and then not finishing it. No matter how bad a book can be, if it's only 5 issues, a little miniseries, I can stomach it the price and just read it through. It also gives me more material to bitch about. Complain about what we don't like. So that being said, Siren's Gate number 2. So far, it's it's a slow story. It's like I said, I just can't believe this is actually even a story. Like, I mean, even part of the Dynamite. I mean, it's computer graphics. It's using that 3D poser stuff as far as the modeling stuff, and that's how that's how they do the story.
Oh wow.
The biggest problem is the word bubbles.
Oh, that's weird.
Now,
I've seen really
people.
weird.
I see people who do create websites online, fiction webs, fiction stories of this, and a lot of times they'll charge you at least $3 because they have to pay for the program and just the work they put into it. They just want some effort back. But basically, this is a whole book about supernatural. A girl she on the white. She died, came back to life. Doesn't know why. Some people think she has powers. She doesn't. That she doesn't know of. There's this woman who basically wants to meet her, like this famous book author. The guy who works for her is a werewolf, and he's been alive for like hundreds of years. And it hints at the fact that the old lady, she also hasn't met her yet. That this older lady is pretty much like ancient too, older than him. And meanwhile, this cop for the first issue ends up getting possessed. Overall, it's like I said, it's like when you went to Blockbuster, you get those straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like your C-list comic. I guess like comic books could be rated based on budget. This is a very low budget, like as far as this.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's all none of it's. I guess it's painted. As they say, I guess they say it's hand painted. I don't believe that.
I don't buy
There's
that.
no way.
No. I don't know about
but
that.
it's basically it's created by Shannon Mayer. Shannon Mayer, basically, he does all the art here. He does the writing. He's known for doing a lot of the I guess exterior covers. I guess not that I'm not aware of him actually doing anything interior, but like I said, when you get stuff like this, the first thing I saw when I got to that guy's face, I had to look to make sure it wasn't like Sean William Scott or Will Ferrell. But
it's a combination of the two. I can see both of them. And that
I know, right? You just can't unsee it now.
I don't appreciate that. I can see Buddy the Elf screaming as you set him on fire.
I'm singing. So basically after 2 issues, it's finally revealed at the end of this issue, we're gonna know who the actual main character is, who this person is. I know, right? It's like what? And they even hint it's like, well, even the Dynamite, the people at Dynamite had no idea where the story was going until this guy put it in a book, and they're like, oh, like they're supposed to
Dynamite, what are you doing? That's so unusual for them.
Yeah. But look how many freaking covers they give this series.
Oh wow.
A
That's
through
a
L.
lot.
Yeah.
Dang.
Too many.
Yeah, way too many. Dynamite, what are you doing, guys? Y'all not Marvel?
Right. All right. But that's number 12.
Down at the bottom where it belongs.
Number 11, picking up because I read the first one. Nightwing's written out badly out of the character in this one. It's basically ties into the supposed to tie into the video game. We get Batman versus Nightwing. Batman comes with Tim Drake, Robin. They head on the Bloodhaven, and Nightwing doesn't like the fact that Bruce is there and stepping on his turf, starts fighting Bruce. And it's okay. It's not the best. I mean, but mainly doing it for the great Capullo art and plus the codes too.
Is Capullo on the interior?
No, it's on the cover.
That's unfortunate.
But
I guess it's the prequel then to the.
It must be because
in the game they're like Batman's dead.
Yes, it's a prequel to this. The game obviously. There's basically the story is for the first issue that basically there's a new scarecrow toxin that's in Bloodhaven. It's making people go crazy over stuff. People are obsessed trying to steal the latest Nikes or the latest video game system. They're rioting mobs, angry mobs. It's like I said, it was pretty much like okay, curious where they're going with this. But Scarecrow isn't involved. We just know that we saw Scarecrow's gang, and and some fear gas, and even Bruce was trying to put together. It's like it's like who would stand the gain from all this and stuff. But
yeah,
like I said, the dumbest thing was like Nightwing, kind of like I like to call him his bitch wing in this.
That's funny. I like that.
He's like, I don't follow you. You don't belong here. Go back to Gotham. I'm thinking like, and he's hacking Bruce, and like obviously Bruce is holding back. I would just love the beard. One punch. I have Tim say one punch. Continue with Geiger and everything. All right.
He took him out with one punch.
Number 10.
One Punch Man.
Number 10. There's only one more book, so I had to get this one.
See, I actually put that one back. My shop was still giving me those. I was like, guys, I'm not reading these. I stopped last issue. Was this one good?
Well, last issue, in order to basically they're in Smallville. I finally figured out who the guy he's talking to in the book with the red bandana. It's Grifter. I had no idea because I don't freaking know Grifter.
Yeah,
Lobo,
they're putting the Wildcats into the DC universe now. That's been a thing.
Damien's been a little shit in this, but I'm kind of liking it though. So, Alfred's alive. That's the other plus.
What?
Yep.
Alfred.
And we're getting basically one of the Wonder Twins because the other one's dead.
I remember the boy died, and so now
So
Jaina?
we got Steel, Supergirl, and I forgot what her name is, but basically they're trying to get this rocket because they want to launch her into space above the atmosphere so she can recharge.
Right.
No, that's pretty much the whole that's that side story. Meanwhile, Damien, Frankenstein, Harley Quinn, and Black Canary are basically and Batgirl. Barbara Gordon. Yeah, she's Batgirl in this. She's not Oracle. Are going into Gotham full frontal assault on Dick Grayson's army and stuff. And yeah, pretty much they're going against a lot of villains. We even get, I believe one of them actually is, they shows up at the end, is actually Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Oh wait, Jonathan's a vampire now?
I think it's Jonathan.
I know.
I know her. Oh, actually, you know what it is? It's Power Girl.
Oh, Power Girl. Yeah.
Forgot. Power Girl is one of them. I want to show you the page because the costume they give for Power Girl is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Power Girl got a nice little spotlight this week, I guess. I didn't read that one, but I read another book that she was in.
Here.
That's Cassie. Oh wait, no, I see her.
upper right corner.
Yeah, with the black. Oh yeah, that is nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
Is that God's? Is that what's his name? Peacemaker's dad behind Mister Freeze? Not Godspeed. White Dragon.
I don't know. He looks like a what's he want to call it? He looks like a Pokemon almost.
Kind of. Like I saw him, and I was like, oh my god, they remembered White Dragon from Peacemaker. They have a Nazi vampire.
I think it's a girl.
Oh, if it is, I can't tell. I just saw the costume, the white with the red
She's got
eyes and the horns.
she's got boobs and a big
Let me-
giant like cartoon like Sonic the Hedgehog fists.
Maybe it's Peacemaker's mother then. I don't know.
I don't know, but Lobo's in this too. Lobo's helping out is helping out Supergirl,
Okay.
stealing that, and yeah, they get in a fight with John Johns, John
John
Jones. Whatever.
Johns. Yeah, John
Sorry,
Johns.
yeah. Basically, he's like, "Oh, we know where they are," and the cool thing is like you get to see here is like he's like, "Oh, we got you, Supergirl, we got you." He's like, "What the fuck is this?" She's like, "Oh, it's a new thing I learned. How do you make water look like people under the hoods?"
Yeah. Oh wow. Neat.
Yeah. And we see Kara going up into space in the rocket ship, and then explodes at the end.
Mm.
So we don't know. Cliffhanger. Is she dead? There's only one issue left.
She's not gonna be dead. She's a Kryptonian. Of course, she's not gonna be dead. It'll explode.
The other thing people said is like, how is like these Kryptonians like Power Girl and all them able to basically like turn into vampires?
Yeah. What's magic, isn't it? Isn't vampirism like magic, kinda? I thought it was. Could be wrong.
The curse, but the thing is that Super has already been proven. Superman's been bitten. Dracula went to go bite him, and he poofed,
Yeah.
turned into
Ah.
ash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know. Good point. Well, that's
But-
because he had the solar radiation in his blood or something like that.
well, the other thing about this book though, the previous issue when Oliver when it broke into the Smallville labor camp, he purposely got himself caught.
Mm-hmm.
He took a little capsule, like a little thing, put it on the ground, and started peeing, and then we got Swamp Thing. The Swamp Thing grew out because he had to water him. He's a little seedling.
Oh.
He's and like Grifter is like, and basically Grifter is like, I'm not peeing on that. He's like, he's like, your big plan to help us, instead of killing that guy, Hawkman, is just a pee on the ground. Is like, and there's always like they're making pee jokes in front of Swamp Thing. He's getting angry. He's like, it's not cool, guys. So there's some few stuff here I like about it, but overall, it's just like, all right, this better be the freaking ending. It better not be volume 2 is gonna come out.
Do you realize that DC versus Vampires started last October and it's still not finished?
It's the longest Halloween.
God, it's so long. Guys, we're past Halloween. You should have ended this by now. Good night. Anyway.
Right.
Sorry. I'll get off.
It's okay. Yeah. Number 9.
Number 9.
Last issue of the series. There's even, I guess, this is supposed to be their homage cover to the original, and I don't care for Miles Morales. I don't look for a lot of these characters on here.
I can't tell if that's Doctor Strange or if that's Clea. Because
No, it's Clea.
the art. I've seen some of the art for the new Doctor Strange. It could be him.
It's Clea. No, and that one book you're seeing, the one that has the Yellow Submarine Beetles art,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the story at all.
Oh, okay.
It's Elseworlds.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because Strange is, and that actually the one Clea one's called Strange.
Yeah, it's just
That's
called
not
Strange.
that's an ongoing.
Okay. Very good.
Dracula turned into Ash on comics. The poor thing.
Wah, wah.
We get some cool fight scenes in here too. Basically in this story, since they come back to life, Marvel does not have the Negabands. Only Rick has them, so he's basically left Earth on a spaceship with Marvel's sister, Phyla L. And they got the Negabands, and they're trying to get to the Kree battles or homeworld, where the basic Kree intelligence kidnapped the entity of Death, which is basically in the body of Marlo. And we got this other I guess I don't know what his name is, but Shatterex. I guess he's a new villain. I've never heard him before.
I've never heard
But
of
he
him before.
grabs a universal weapon. Basically, like
Looks like one of the Accuser's
Yeah,
hammers.
yeah, yes. And there's some cool scenes in here. We get this. We get what basically looks like Monogram Rambo,
Yeah. Is it
but
Monica or is it someone else?
it's someone posing as Monica. We
Uh
find out because remember Death's in here, and we find Death has a sister,
uh-huh.
a sibling called Life.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And we see her see FLL. Basically, they had to leave the spaceship behind, racing to get there. Interesting look for her. I don't remember her being blue.
Yeah, she's been blue. She was like that in Donny Cates' run.
Okay, I didn't read the Donny Cates run.
Yeah,
I'm going off
Donny Cates' run is good. Yeah.
I'm going off the one we've been reading on the
I
channel.
think I think what it was is she came from another universe. Either she did or Moondragon did.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's looked like that for a while.
Next thing we know, we get Rowan the Accuser popping up,
Nice.
and he's like, give me your weapon, and then you realize it's not really him. It's actually the Skrull that was traveling with with Marvel, tricked him, and give him enough open attack. We see Rick coming in, throws the Negabands. Overall, like I said, Shadrax is a cousin of Catarax, and we get this little nifty little preview for Iron Man new series.
Oh yeah, the new Gary Duggan. I like that armor.
I gotta say though,
the art's kind of cool.
They're teasing a new villain for this. She-Hulk makes appearance here, defending Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, it can't be worse than Chris Cantwell, right?
It might be on par with what's his name's
What's his name? Bendis?
No, the one we've been Jed McKay.
Oh,
Yeah.
McKay. Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, maybe.
So basically, So basically, what happens is they rescue Marlon here, and since I did not know this, and this is kind of a spoiler for people who haven't read that Incredible Hulk run series, Marlo was murdered and brought back to life. Apparently.
I believe I remember reading that somewhere.
Yes. So, and because Death does not want to long, she's tired of basically this. She hates her job. She's like, there's over 8 billion souls on Earth alone, and so many people keep dying because only Earth has so much death and destruction. No other universes, it's she's just sick of it. Watching, just boring. So she doesn't want to do anymore. And Marlo says, you know what though, I kind of feel bad for her. She did me a favor. She brought me back to life when she didn't have to. So kind of owe her. Rick's kind of pissed off about that. Rick, it's just kind of a sad ending. So.
Wait, so what is Marlo the new Lady Death now, or
she basically is merged with Death.
Interesting. Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like saying I'm this huge Marlo fan. It's That's certainly interesting.
She's like, honey, I shouldn't be here and the living on borrowed time since I was murdered. Death reversed herself to save me. At least I can do is save her. So he's like, I owe her, Rick, and I'm the only one who can do it. I always love you, Rick. Marlo, you can't, and she basically, merges, and then she gets nice little costume here.
Oh, hey, Marlo. Okay. Yo.
Yeah.
I'm about to be like Thanos and be infatuated with death. That's not bad. That's not bad.
And then because this guy won't shut up, the Kree guy, Rick just knocks the fuck out of him.
Rick's like, I ain't playing this game with you no more.
So yeah. And there's the Skrull that was helping him out. Captain Marvel.
Well, Phi Lavel's gonna hit on that Skrull before too long.
But then, so just when you think it's bleak and hopeless and this kind of a sad ending, we get good news. We can fix it.
Joe Fixit versus Kingpin in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Coming this Saturday night to pay-per-view.
Yep. So overall, okay ending. And it's they even mention in the letter saying, which we all know is bogus anyway, but they mentioned, hey, look, there's original cover. And
Oh yeah,
you're like, oh, go check to see what characters are different on the new cover, like all of them.
all of them. Well, I'm sure some of them are the same. They just look different. Like Colossus.
Strange is just traded out, swapped out. Spider-Man is now replaced with the little black kid, Miles Morales. You know, but majority of them are there, except that yeah, Daredevil swapped out for the female Daredevil. But yeah, what's going on, Xner? Happy Thanksgiving to you. Oh, I guess early Thanksgiving because remember tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow, yes.
All right. So we got all right. Number 8.
But I believe JR is in Canada, and they're
Oh,
Canada.
oh.
Their Thanksgiving was last month.
Well, they had Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, that's it.
Yes,
I
yes.
always thought was like
Where you get to knock your kids around for a day. It's legal. All right, this is my number 8.
Hey.
You got this one right?
Yeah, that's the same cover I got and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Overall, like I said, it's a fun story. I said the artwork is great in here. We got.
Look at that.
Cool
Yeah,
stuff.
that shot. I was like, oh my god, he's dead. They killed
You're
him.
right. Yes.
I was like, holy cow, no.
And it's a thick cardboard prestige, I guess you want to say. Book.
Yeah, almost like a prestige cover. Yeah.
I was like, hey, this book's starting off good, and then why?
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. I didn't mind it, honestly, but I'll get into
That's
that
how it starts. That's how it started. This is how it's going.
He gets not. No, how it's going is like the very last page, which I thought was
Well,
awesome.
yes. I'll save that.
They bow to me.
But still, I like this shot here. I love all this.
Yeah, the team shot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that last scene from Avengers where Loki's like on the ground and all the Avengers are around him. He's like, I want that drink now.
Yes. I guess I'll show the last thing. It's a spoiler. Guess who's gonna finally be an actual leader?
Finally joins the team. Took him about time. Only took him 12 issues.
I love that art though.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. All right.
Really good issue, though, I thought.
It is. I had fun with it. It's still ongoing. Next one's in December. Yeah. All right. Number 7. Vampiro Strikes.
Oh, you got the fun cover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Only cover I could get.
I like that one.
So basically, stuff's going on in here. Vampiros infiltrating this group of cannibals, posing as an old lady.
Agatha Harkness, what are you doing in a Dynamite book?
They're eating people.
Oh my lord! Oh, that's
yes. Because she wants to know who are they? Are they gonna resurrect the Chaos daughter of the Chaos Gods, Nyx? Mm-hmm. They have no idea, and so it's just going on with this. She's going through here. We don't know. I love that scene though. It's like a mad scientist thing. Mm-hmm. She decides to basically shed her disguise because we need to see Vampirella, not some shaggy old titties.
You gotta see the regular Vampirella titties.
Yeah. Because I had to see this in the beginning.
Oh Lord, no! It's like if Jocasta was wearing an Agatha Harkness skin. Oh God, why? Take that off the screen.
So she goes basically to go destroy the body. She gets attacked. I'm so glad because now I was afraid that this book was connected to Christopher Priest's Draculina and his Nyx series that they went on.
Right.
Actually, I don't know if he did. If he was, I think it was Fred Land. Was it him that did Nyx? I don't remember who did. But,
I thought it was Priest. You were saying.
But I do know Priest in his Sacred Six. He brought back Nyx.
Oh, okay.
But in this series, it's untainted by that crap because she's still dead. So Vampirella is basically captured. She's knocked down. It gets upside down chained. Seems to be a common trope for her. She's usually tied or shackled up somewhere.
Upside down.
Yeah.
Gotta be
Well,
upside
not always
down.
upside down though. But
Have to test gravity at
so
every
basically,
test.
and this is a spoiler too for those who don't want to go spoiler. This is your 3, 2, 1. Jezebel's back. The blood red queen of hearts,
Interesting. I
an
like the
older villain,
design. Kind of looks like the xenomorph from Alien.
doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yes.
Interesting choice.
And now this makes sense. The heart.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah. This one right here, Vampirella, good. This one, shit. Don't read it.
Sweetie. You weren't a fan of
I
Sweetie?
bought the first issue, give it a chance, but oof,
Rough.
no, not even rough. More like egg of the Harkness, naked.
Stop that. I don't need that mental image. It's a holiday. We're supposed to think
On
about
a
good things.
cold summer day.
A cold summer day.
It's not summer anymore. So number 6, which originally was part of my top 5 for the top picks, but it got bumped up because there's the book of this, that took a spot. Simple, keep it simple. She goes basically, she's on a train, subway, with a platform. There's a creepy guy saying, "Don't worry, little Johnny or whatever he's like, no, you'll be fine." Oh, all the people here, her and on the subway train, I guess she's been talking about how there's been people basically going missing, and she was there to investigate it. And she's basically in her civvies. She's got a whole green hoodie on over and stuff. So basically, and the train ends up being hijacked by these 3 punks, and basically derail the subway train. They crash, and that creature behind you, it's a Wendigo.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
That's a Wendigo. Jeb, who happens to be the Native American that's on the train, right on the train, says, "Oh, it's a Wendigo," and she's like, "A what?" Oh, it's like
convenient.
Yes, I know.
Conveniently placed passenger to give you the lore and the exposition of what a Wendigo is.
Like I said, Wendigo gets, let's say, like the guy says, you can't kill Wendigo, but you can pretty much temporarily, stop him. She's like, "Oh, with what?" "Oh, a big force of impact." She's like, "Oh, subway train."
A big effing train.
It's like hitting Rudolph.
Wendigo got run over by the subway.
He was heading over to eat grandma
on Christmas Eve.
Look at that art, though. I love that.
That is pretty great art, I gotta say.
Like I said, I've just been enjoying a lot of it. Just these books are just fun. It's basically, if you like Belle or just Robin Hood, it's just girls basically going up and just killing monsters. That's all it is. There's more to it than that, but it's basically monsters of the week. You ever get to see the creepy guy? He's like, it was being like, "Hey, John, it's okay," and he turns into the Wendigo. But he's got a.
It's okay. I'll make it quick. Chomp, chomp, chomp. It's crazy.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I enjoy. I have fun with these books. Sometimes they're a little hokey, but like I said, I love the interior art.
Hookie's all right. That's cool with the subway that crashing.
Yeah,
that's really neat. Yeah.
And like I said, like for most part, like there's a few characters, but I just feel bad. Like when he's open up, it's always like this guy walks in. He says like, "Oh, what's this on the oak?" He's like, "There's a painting on the side of the thing. What is this?" Homeless guy. It's always like a beginning of like a Ghostbusters cartoon. And then someone gets nabbed or supernatural. He's like, "Oh, it's great," and then he gets slashed and then drags him off.
Oh, wow.
So, like I said, these are fun books. And so with Zenoscope, they advertise the shit on everything.
Yeah, they do a good job with the advertising for sure.
They realize, that it's better to keep in touch with your customers versus just yell at them on Twitter.
Right.
So
shocking how big of a difference that makes.
Right. It's all right. So on to my top 5. These on real quickly. Number 5 is a book that I didn't think it was gonna be higher on the list because I just haven't been really feeling the series. It's been kind of mediocre.
Hey,
I got the Chichato cover. So
nice.
I just like the character designs.
I kind of like it with the hood, to be honest. And
I
the
kind of like it with the
beard,
beard.
the beard is growing on me, literally
It's
and
growing on
also
him.
figuratively. Yeah, I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of digging it. Okay.
It's like Robert Redford with a beard.
Kind of. He does kind of have that Robert Redford vibe.
So
Yeah.
because so basically it starts off with him just talking to basically I guess it's Samson.
Leonard Sampson. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean in just basically having a little therapy session, and he's like well. He's basically telling he's like what Matt whatever Daredevil is like no it's basically like he's like, how do you feel about your plan? He's like and Daredevil's like it's like any plan. You hope it's right. You hope it goes well. He's like, you're prepared as best you can. He's like, that's not what I meant. I'm asking how you feel. I'm like, oh no, what is this shit? I hate therapy because all that stuff. For
Yeah.
some people, it works for you, but to me, it's just like talking about your feelings. I'd rather just punch a bag.
Samson's been showing. This is the second time
Yeah,
I've seen Samson
yeah.
show up recently. He was in that Hulk book not too long ago.
Like I like to call him Green Beast.
Green Pea. That's right. He is more furry looking now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in like and he's like basically he says like it's basically Daredevil says like it's God's will. That's why I'm building an army here and gonna save the world and stuff,
Yeah.
And Samson's like, well, what if you're wrong? What if this isn't divine intervention? He's like, I'm just trying. He's like, man, I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm just trying to look at this through other lens. I'm thinking like, why is this even a thing in here? Does he really know it needs that much console? But and so cool result because Matt and Elektra got married last issue.
Yeah.
Everyone's got cool new powers. Even Foggy has powers.
Foggy has powers now. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got new special abilities locked through because they're um and Foggy's really excited about it. And we get Cole basically talking to Matt Murdock saying like, this isn't natural. I shouldn't be have these powers. He's like, well, if that's what you think it is, you think it's a bad thing, then when majority of the superheroes you see in the cities, they have powers. They were born with powers.
Right.
It's up what you do with the power what makes you evil.
Right.
Put quick limitations on there. We get a little cute exchange, between Daredevil and Elektra. He's like, and she's like, husband, wife.
Like an old farming couple from the 1800s.
Yeah. So basically, the talisman, or the book, the Bible, the hand they have for the hand thing, for them. The way the fist basically revealed itself after they did this the power. So basically now they're learning things and I just love it. It's like I'm really trusting something that's it's just being written as we go along. It's revealing itself.
Yeah, right.
And we also learned that the hand has already replaced a bunch of key figures throughout the world, political leader stuff. But overall, she basically Elektra was going to go off her elf and go do something and he's like, no, your thing is you're staying with me. We did this thing. He's like, pretty much, Bat's like, we're husband and wife now. Where you go, I go. So, and if you want to go to fall up and see the UN leader stuff, we'll do that after the war. But first they go to basically Myrmidon. Myrmidon. Did you read this?
Yeah, I picked it up.
Okay,
that's the prison from Devil's Reign where Kingpin sent all the superheroes.
Yeah. So I like the fact that Daredevil's got new powers now, more heightened sense stuff. Now he can feel people with their emotions too. I'm not sure how I feel about that because that's a lot of feeling, a lot of emotional damage. But but overall, we get to see John Walker basically versus Daredevil, and Daredevil just kicks the shit out of him. And I've been waiting for that because Daredevil's been a punching bag for this whole entire series with Chip Zdarsky. And it just shows you how superior he is to him. And then we can also think, hey, remember, Iron Man.
They don't let you forget it. That's a pretty sweet cover, though. I
I
gotta
know
say.
it is. Yeah, like I said,
I
I'm
love
looking
that
at
cover.
these, but overall, next issue, Avengers versus Daredevil. So I didn't spoil everything, so there's still something that you can
There
talk
you go.
about.
There's still some stuff in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 is a thicker book. Uh,
2 C's or three? Ooh, 3 C's.
never don't really know anything about the lore. They give you details about this. Um, if you like Power Rangers, you're gonna like this series. To me, it's a little out there. I got halfway through it, and I was just like, I didn't know what the think of it. Other than art is awesome in here. The fights in here, uh, stuff.
Oh wow, yeah, that art is awesome. Who printed this? Was this Image or Dynamite?
It's just Titan.
Titan. Okay,
You know,
right on.
like there's it's like basically like there's an evil common writer, and the rest of the writers have to basically take them down. Uh, it is cool. The art through all this is just awesome.
Yeah, that's
I'm
that's
loving it. I
really
like it's a fun book, but I'm
right
like
on.
I'm just feel like I'm missing a lot of information here.
Hmm.
Um,
That's some clean art though. I like that.
it is. Uh, like I said, I just been having fun with this book, and just overall, we'll see where it goes. But this is all the different covers they had out this week for it.
Oh wow, that guy looks like not well, he kind of does look like Ambush Bug, but I'm thinking he looks like Bug from the Abnett and Lanning Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
like a mechanized version of him.
All right. So then, if you want to, Outlet 2 is coming out too. They're gonna have some more stuff coming out soon.
Very cool. Titan manga. Okay.
Yeah, that's your new
Oh,
thing.
see,
Yeah.
that's the volume one though on the back, so you might pick that up. That might have
Yeah.
some of the information
Yeah.
you're missing.
Yep. Because Adam has volume 1, 2, and 3, and 4 now available to them. It's Stonebot manga, and then they have 1 through 4 as well. But
Okay.
it's also available digitally too. So if you don't want to buy the physical book, you can want to buy it for like I think it's like $2, $3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Fun series.
I'll have to give that a check out.
Yep. Number 3, Sergeant Rock and the Rich Armor Dad. I'm just saying, I'm loving the new toys they're getting. The automatic shotguns. I'm loving the bazookas. Like I said, like the tear gas. It's just fun overall. I don't know. Like I said, Zach likes Nazis. And dinosaurs. And
Nazi
optics.
zombies are the best bad
Yeah.
guys, man. I'm telling you.
I'm just liking. It's like Inglorious Bastards. Every time I read this.
Kinda. It kinda does have that Inglorious Bastards vibe to it. I can see that. Yeah.
Like I said,
Definitely.
I'm just loving it's not it's kind of like a cartoonish gore.
Yeah.
So
It's not like Walking Dead for sure.
no. Well, you see,
Parts of it, but it's not super grotesque. At least I didn't think this issue was.
no,
Like there's one scene where a zombie gets blasted in the head, but all you see are the eyes and like this dark splot. I actually thought it was more comical looking than anything.
yeah. So
I like the shading though in this book a lot. Like
Yeah.
they show the doctor in the car, just his glasses reflecting the light. I thought
right
that was
overall, like I said, it's been fun looking at some of the stuff here and just the technology they're giving.
yeah, the infrared night goggles.
Yeah.
Extra
they get-
specs.
They had the walkie talkies. Like I said, I don't care for some of the character designs of the faces. Like he just looks like a Chad.
A little bit. Little bit.
Oh.
I don't care for that.
Well.
That's Rock too. That looked weird.
Yeah. Without my boy, I didn't know I owned you, Ash. things I had no idea. Now I will abuse that power.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. So number 2, is Dark Crisis. Dark Army.
Yo.
I really love me some Power Girl, man. Power Girl is in this book too.
Hmm.
Damien calling the shots. Dr. Light, and then he just keeps calling her like, "Hey, new girl, it's Red Canary." He's like, it's basically Ash, new girl. He doesn't give a shit about her. He's like, so basically, you snuck along with us. You have no powers. You're a newbie, and you're a liability. She's like, "Oh, I love it because he just calls her on her bullshit." Um, it's like I said, it's a fun book. I still love this every time I see this.
That was a good panel. I did like
Yes.
that. I also like the scene where the Earth they go to is the Earth of the apes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That cracked me up. Spoilers: they go to the Earth of the apes.
Because all the multiverses were restored, and
Yeah.
yeah. But throughout, like I said, even like this, like Damien has a plan,
Hmm.
and I love it. He's so smug. He doesn't give a shit. Like, and then like when Power Girl's like, "Yo, you're real. Wait, this is what your plan was? Hell no." And it's like it's like you and I really have a serious talk after we're done with this, and thinking like, but then like I forget what they said. It was like I think Doctor Light had said like if you're gonna trust anybody, who was she talking to? She's talking to another person.
Was
I think
she
it was from the
talking to
J.
Dr. Light, maybe?
Well, Doctor Light in the very beginning is like, who would you trust falling into a thing? Oh, always trust Robbins.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the very beginning, her
Right.
plans.
Yeah.
Um, they use that sideways guy here too. John Bass, we get this is the thing too. There's three different artists. So Damien is drawn. Oh, he's 14, 5'4". As soon as they go through the portal, you
Yeah,
know,
they changed artist a lot on this book.
and then he's aged up. Look at that.
Look at that boy. He went from Damien to Nightwing in like 2 pages. Oh, Mr. Breen is here and would like a
Yeah.
link.
Oh,
I
I
guess
thought you were in fossils. My
I
bad.
guess did the fossils wrap up early? Did they have to go to bed?
I
Was it
mean,
was it
I don't know.
pudding time?
You want to send these boys some links?
I'll send them some links.
All right. Like I say though, I like this art though. I love an older Damien, but you know, I love at least the character design. What they should have done is just had like the further adventures of the Super Sons having a little older, like and having Damien with that design. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
for like a future Elseworlds story.
Right, right.
But then again, because continuity doesn't matter anymore. They age people up. But overall, fun story. We get to see Damien just trolling and just leading everybody and and telling people to quit whining and just shut up and do what he says. You know, and I said, Damien's just fun. I said I just we get awesome Power Girl basically battling against the shadow creatures. Doctor Light using her power because Damien handpicked everybody because he had to leave. He's like so basically he's like I need you and you. it's like and they had no idea, but like said like Doctor Light said he's like well. I trust him because he's a Robin, and also he chose us because they're based on our powers. So that was my number two. My number one is a book. If you haven't guessed it, Zach, a book that's been getting better and better with each issue.
I think I can guess it. Is it Detective Comics?
It is.
It is Detective Comics. Yeah, boy.
I I think one of the reasons I'm really enjoying this is the fact that we have James Corden back in Gotham.
McGruff the crime dog.
Even though he's not commissioner or led the cops, he's retired. I like seeing him his interaction with the Bruce, and then you get the little throwback, when Bruce basically leaves, after he puts his costume, he's like basically like it doesn't say it, but you can tell he's like some things never change, because
Yeah.
Bruce said he says to him, he says like hey, I'm glad you're back, and he's like and for what it's worth, um yeah huge event happens in here, um, especially the Arkham Tower, Arkham Asylum, which I'm not really happy with that. I mean, Arkham Asylum is one of the things that's always been with Batman. It's always there.
Yeah.
This is a huge spoiler for
So of
those
course
that.
he's gonna show it.
Well, yeah, I'm giving you a warning right now. I'll put it right up there. Spoilers for anybody who doesn't know. I'll put it right on the thing. So, so basically, in this book here, we get to see the destruction of Gotham. You know, basically, they made their own Arkham Asylum. But and then immediately, we get this shit.
That's been yeah, that was in the middle of every DC book. DC's got to put those books or those ads right in the middle. I don't care for it.
All right. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, Mike is hosting Thanksgiving, so he had to end it early so he could help his wife make
Oh,
the preparations.
Gotcha.
Ah.
Gotcha. Well, I'll withdraw my pudding joke then.
Well, hey, that might be a cover story.
So,
Could be.
I'm not going to say any more of this. Zach, if you want to later on, I'm just going to say I enjoyed this book and the writings can get better with this. I'm curious to know what's the reason why getting rid of that building. Are they going to build something else on top of it? What's the whole reasoning? Are they just looking for oil? Is this all about oil?
Black gold.
Two
Texas
warring
tea.
warring secret factions, or just all they want is control of Gotham's natural resources. Oh, but yeah, quite a few books here. There is I guess I guess not back issues I'd say, but more so well, I guess so. One really cool book I found. I did not expect to find this because I've been looking for this for a while, and got issue 5 now.
Nice.
I need 2, 3, 4.
Hmm.
I saw
Yes.
Hawk, and at first I thought it was like a new Hawk and Dove series. I was like, oh,
No.
goody. Finkman has more Hawk and Dove.
I was talking to the LCA guy about this. He said even for the people he special ordered this for, it was so hard to find it. And I guess they shorted them. And then can we order it? Can you give us? They said no.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't read this because I read the first one, but I need 2, 3, and 4. I need the whole story.
Right.
So another cool thing I saw out there, and Zach, you probably didn't get this.
What's that?
Yeah, you didn't get it. You know what exactly what I'm talking about.
I do because I got it. We're gonna do the unveiling.
Yeah.
At the same time. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Yeah, of course I got this. Of course I did.
Awesome series. Brain, obviously you saw this here.
Mm-hmm.
Now you probably own the original one.
I used to.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the more fun Lee and Kirby Fantastic Four issues I've ever read. I enjoyed it. Wyatt Wingfoot is in this too.
The only thing I don't like about this is that we don't have George Bell on inking.
The world is a better place for it.
Well, as I've said before, that's part of the most creative year in comic book history. If you think about that, in the span of 1 year's worth of issues, got the Inhumans, Galactus, Silver Surfer, and the Black Panther.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just cool.
I love the whole story. It's like a technological jungle that he traps them in to hunt them. I'm kind of sad that there's not a facsimile of the second issue. So you can find out like why he was hunting them.
We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to have you read as Black Panther.
Yes, I will accept this role with humility and jubilation.
But now, as much as that cool that issue is, there's another thing we talked about it last night that came out today.
It is issue number 52, Austin P.
Yeah. So the cool thing I got today was basically I couldn't resist.
What'd you get? Oh, nice.
I picked it up.
Yeah, I saw that. What issues does that cover?
This covers 290 through to 297. Has annual number 14, Marvel Superheroes number 13, Iron Manual number 1, material from Marvel Superheroes number 2, 8, 9, 12, 14, and 15. So basically, this it says being dead has taken its toll on his body, and Tony must resort to extreme measures to keep being Iron Man. What does it mean for James Rhodes, who wore the armor in Tony's absence, and his furious best friend? Is furious. His best friend lied to him. Tony must unravel the controller's conspiracy, battle the Technovore, and aboard a Stark satellite, and face Modam and Omega Red while investigating dangerous deal aim. But who or what is the face thief? Plus, celebrate Iron Man's 30th anniversary with tales spanning his heroic career, including the classic debut of Squirrel Girl,
Hey.
and dive deep in Tony's creative process with the Iron Manual. So I guess this is the manual in the back part.
Oh, the Iron Manual has all the armor specs.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's pretty cool.
So yeah,
I dig that. Oh, that is. Oh, that's actually. Yeah, that's gnarly.
But overall, he said I couldn't resist it.
They made him an offer he couldn't.
When you put War Machine and Iron Man on the same freaking cover, like how can you resist that? And this isn't today's stuff. This is like back then.
I mean,
And that the
they
back.
did the movie poster for Iron Man 2 with Iron Man and War Machine. That was pretty close. But yeah, that.
Yeah. So basically, Iron Man comes back to reclaim the mantle from Brody.
Yeah.
So I'm getting. So.
Mariah says, "V, when are you sending that to me?"
I was waiting for that. It's like I said, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Maranya, we're gonna read all these in here. We're gonna do a retrospective on it. We'll do it for 3 hours.
3 hours.
You can talk as much as you want. I'll sit back and have a soda. Like I said, just look at floating heads.
Hey, look at those floating heads.
Like I said, this was only like what? This is volume 18 from 1993. So I'm gonna see
93.
93.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't even look at the volume. I just saw this. I was like, you know what? And I read the back. I was like, you know what? I'm getting this.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Awesome.
It's freaking heavy too for.
Well, yeah, those epic collections you could like.
$45. So I'd say it's a good haul for this week, for me, because I got some cool stuff. Brain, did you pick up anything at all this week?
I did. Did Zach already do his?
Not yet, but we can skip Zach.
Yeah.
Look, you get to bring the fossils, and I'll bring the best of the week.
So
I'll bring up the caboose.
All right, so.
All right. So let's see. I did pick up Miracle Man.
Ooh,
Cool.
okay, that's the second issue, huh?
Yes.
And how did that go compared to the other one?
I'm about 2/3 of the way in. I've only had time to read. I had time to read this because it takes like 6 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bing
Is-
didn't like that one.
is that a 5-issue thing? Because I mean, I'm getting it because I want to know what the story's end game's going to be.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I mean, it's just. I think I'm keeping up with it because of the uniqueness.
Yeah.
I'm not really. Again, like I said, it's beautiful, but he's got a ways to go before
Storytelling is fine.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, it's. I don't know. It's. I never saw Twilight, but I gotta believe it's kind of, vampires and werewolves and witches.
Are they?
Oh my!
Yeah. I mean, as far as the handsome vampire, and like I'm getting like it's a mixture of like chastity almost too, but with the author that bit her, you know.
And she didn't bite her. She kissed her.
Yeah.
Here's Parker Girls with the main character auditioning to be a Marvel superheroine.
I was about to say she looks kind of like a Carol's stepsister.
The
big buff.
kind of
freak.
does.
Her name is Valkyrie. Get it over.
Change the skin color from blue to
I am-
Caucasian.
I am Brunhilde.
Here's one of those pre-code horror
Ooh.
books.
Ooh.
and a special on beet soup.
And I like the back cover. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Oh,
neat. A floating
Um,
head.
yes.
she needs a napkin.
And Venkman saw this at his shop, and his didn't have a bent corner, but the Charlton Companion finally made it to the greater Cincinnati area today.
Wow.
And
Hope
this,
you got hope you got a discount, bro.
yeah, I do, but I said I don't give a shit. I'm going to read it, not frame it. Um, and if I did frame it, the frame would cover that bent corner. But now it's interesting. Like I said, for those that don't know, aren't familiar with Charlton, the two guys that put Charlton together met in prison. They were a couple of white collar criminals, and they said, "Let's go into business when we get out." They did, and they did. And one of the things they did realize was it's cheaper to run printing presses 24/7. So they were churning out as many comics as they could, any deals they could strike to print other people's magazines. Charlton actually published a magazine called Hit Parader, and if you're older, you've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there was they can't remember the name of it, but it was like the first magazine devoted entirely to black music. But I said I forgot the title, but I said I know decent amount about Charlton, and from having the presses going 24/7, the quality was not really their thing. And if you open a Charlton book, sometimes the first 6 or 7 pages are all cut differently, and they're jagged edges on the bottom. I mean, real close. But I mean, I said so, and they didn't pay well, but for some reason that was where Steve Ditko that was his favorite company that he worked for.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's their most famous alumni, but that's where Denny O'Neil started. He wrote under, I guess, by the time he was already working for Marvel and before DC, he was using the name Sergio O'Shaughnessy. Jim Aparo got his start there. Dick Giordano came from Charlton. Steve Skeets. And then some other guys like Tom Sutton, Joe Staten, names that are relatively familiar. They all, Joe Gill, they all passed through Charlton.
The fact you say the guy's last name is Skeets. Did somebody purposely name the robot Skeets after that guy as a joke?
It may have.
I wonder.
But I was telling you a couple weeks ago about that fanzine I was looking at from 1970, I think it was, or 73, where they were making fun of this guy who was just like basically this little prick that kept showing up in these fanzines and taking cheap shots at people and blah blah. And Steve Skeets was one of the guys that just lit into him, and the little shit they were talking about was Paul Levitz. So I'm wondering if Steve Skeets ever had to go to Paul Levitz for work, or if he was already gone by then. I thought that was interesting, but yeah, as I said, I can't wait to start reading this. I love comic book history, and this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I saw it there. I forget that you're at a comic book shop. So I mean, well, sometimes you guys don't get stuff. Shops get delayed stuff. Whatever.
Oh, and with tomorrow's, there's no. Like I said, the one of the other fossils got it last week because the shop in Mesa, Arizona, got it and they had it sent to them.
Yep.
So tomorrow's is not the most reliable distribution.
My one shop, you always get shortened on either sometimes it's DC shortens them or Marvel shortens them on a number of issues he gets or copies. So and then like he's getting charged for it, he's like, what the hell?
But at least you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to like if you order something from tomorrow's. At Maranya, there's no skin in Siren's Gate, so it's not like a Zenoscope book. It's just this guy. I mean, it's hard to describe it. It's almost like they're moving like lifelike dolls into position, and
pose art.
But it's So I said, and I got to be honest. If I didn't get a monstrous discount, I probably wouldn't be buying it.
The way I described it is like looking at those straight to DVD movies. Like there's so many Bram Stoker movies that had nothing to do with Bram Stoker. They just took the name, put it on there. That's what it reminds you of. Those 2000s. Like there's The Way of the Vampire and just all the things that Bram Stoker. I was like, they were so bad, but they were good. And because in this in a sense, the art to me, it's good, but it's also I can see where sometimes it just looks so like wow, it looks so cringe sometimes. But then it's like but it's not like cringe where it's like Riley Rossmo. It's just like you can tell it's not. It's a 3D model.
Well, his covers. I mean,
Yeah.
he is one of the 2 or 3 best cover artists working today. I mean, I'd say he's up there with Art Germ. As far as respect by people that.
So
I mean, his covers are very sought after, and I guess like Sun Kumanaki's probably the other.
Yes, the Canadian chick that does works for I think she worked for Coffin Bound for a while, and she does cover art for Xenoscope too.
Yeah, she has a lot of the ratio variants.
Yes, ratio, not Horatio.
Yes. But that's all I picked up today. So if you want to send it to Yukon Zach,
we'll send it to Ash so Ash can show us his books.
Ash hasn't said anything. Is he even here?
No.
No, I was waiting.
Oh God! Oh wow! Okay.
To have a sorry.
We
had to roll out the red floor, red carpet for Eric.
He's waiting to snipe my eardrums with that intro.
Sorry if that was too loud for you.
No, it's okay. I had my headset turned up, so I'm gonna have ear damage already anyway by the time I'm 40. So whatever. All right.
Well,
do you want to go or do you want me to go, Ash?
Either way, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Can you show your hands with the books? No, I meant Ash.
I was gonna say, why do you want to see my hands? Weird. Okay.
I can show you.
Oh, what can you show us?
Badoom!
Look at that.
Technology.
We'll throw Ash up there for a little
Hey!
second.
Yeah, throw Ash up there.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll
he
throw
got
you-
Vanish.
We'll throw you to the back.
Look at that. I took pictures of my books, and there it is. So, Vanish is a cool book by Donny Cates and Brian Stegman. Not Ryan Stegman, not Brian Stegman. Which is the team that became popular on Denim in the early days. And that was really kind of where I came to be a fan of Donny Cates. Went back and read some of his earlier stuff, like Thanos Wins, which I recommend to everyone. Thanos Wins is great.
Great.
But these two are really good. Like a writer-artist team up for the modern era. There's very few really solid writer-artist team ups, and Stegman and Cates is a good one. I would say like Tomasi Gleason, but Marvel and DC both destroyed that. I don't think they'll ever get back together. So anyways, they're doing an independent book, and it's a Capes book, which I'm a big fan of. I like my indies, but Capes are what I'm really about for the genre, like for the medium of comic books. That's what I prefer. I think just it works so well. So it's nice to see them doing a Capes book. The character Vanish is he's the whole background of this book is like superheroes are powered by magic, but people don't really know that. So it's we as the reader are privy to this knowledge, and the main character Vanish is sort of like one of the most powerful magicians, but the villains are actually like the evil magicians, and they came from the magician realm, because it's like a whole nother world outside of our own, and they're hiding in the world, but they're hiding as superheroes. So the world sees them as like, oh, hey there. But Vanish knows that they're not actually the heroes people think they are. So he's like actually hunting the heroes. And it's just an interesting kind of premise. It's a little bit kind of reminds me a little bit like The Boys, but it's not grotesque. Like it's not way adult material, but just in the idea that the heroes actually aren't really heroes. Just the world sees them that way. It's an interesting book, and I just think Stegman's a good artist. Cates, I think, is at his best when he's doing superhero books. And so this is a good one. Let's see. And my number 2, I gotta, how do I, Chroma. So this was last week's book,
Yeah.
but they didn't have it in. So I had to wait till this week to get it. I actually thought I was going to have to wait 2 weeks, but they, so the store that I go to has like multiple locations. So they're able to call like one of the other stores and be like, you got, and then they'll ship it between stores. So that's a pretty cool benefit of my comic book store. I have not got a chance to read this at all. I was actually thinking we were going to be doing this tomorrow, but Thanksgiving, so I get it. And I was hoping to really read my books because I was going to try to jump on with your boy RDV. And this one I'm very curious about. I read the short story in the Skybound X, and I enjoyed it. I like Lorenzo Felici's art. I'm not a massive fan of it. He's the artist that did Oblivion Song.
Yeah.
It both worked for me, but also wasn't the greatest. But I think now that he's actually drawing his own creation versus trying to draw for someone else's creation, that his art is getting to shine a lot better. Plus, I think doing like nearly 50 issues of Oblivion Song, I think artists really grow over time as they just pump out work. We're seeing that with Chris Samney on Firepower. I never really used to like him, but I think he's just getting better and better. So I'm very curious to see where this goes. I'm going to give it a one shot. Hopefully it's awesome. It was very expensive though, $7.99. Oof. I have to really, really break my vows. I'm usually railing against these expensive books, but the sad thing is all the best books seem to be expensive. So it'll be a blessing. If it sucks, then I won't have to keep buying it. But if it's awesome, I didn't want to do what I did with Ultra Mega, where I waited until like issue 3 was out, and I was like, let me try this out. Everyone's talking about it, and then finding issues 1 and 2 was like impossible. So just get on the ground.
Have they even announced when they're resuming Ultra Mega?
No.
It's been like 2 years. It feels like.
Well, it's been a year. It was supposed to come out this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ash, never say impossible. I get issue 5 now.
Oh, that's true. I saw your issue 5. Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah, now I just
I've been keeping an eye out too around here to see. My store has issue 1 still on their whatever you call it, not the new comics wall, but like the recent comic wall before it goes to the back issues.
Yeah, the middle part. Yeah.
What do you call that, Eric? You're the expert. You're an official comic dealer.
The 6-week wall.
The 6-week wall.
Yeah.
6 weeks. That's all you keep it up for? 6 weeks?
True. I mean,
when you order 300 books a month, that's about all you. I mean,
I guess so.
Our
that's
6-week wall goes all the way down a 50-foot wall and then turns the corner and goes down about another 20 feet, and it's full.
Wow. Yeah, my store is really huge too. I'm just remembering the old days. Like you kept the last 2 issues. The method that I'm used to is the previous 2 months stay on the wall until the third one comes out, and then you cycle the first month.
The other store in the area keeps them up for several months, and you can't find things because it's just literally 20 deep and books get mixed, and
yeah,
our system seems to work pretty well, but but it's too much space devoted to it.
So my store cycles them every, like I said, the first book rotates out when the third book comes out. Whatever, that's a 6-week wall, the 3-month wall, I don't know, that wall. But when books don't continue, sometimes they'll stay up on that shelf for like 6 months because there's nothing actually replacing it, so they don't know to rotate it out. So anyway, they have Hawk the Slayer #1 on the wall, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they got other issues. Nope, just #1. So 2 through 5 is going to be really hard to find, but I've been looking for them.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Because I have my one store. I go to a small store. He has them like by publisher, and they're not in alphabetical order. They're just by publisher. And then the other one is like they're all mixed together, and the new ones are all in alphabetical order on the wall. The little like, plastic bins, those clear ones hanging there, and then we get the 6-week little like shelves. It looks like it goes to like you went to basically remember Blockbuster individual shelves.
Yep.
Yeah, and they put the books like that, and then they have A through Z. They have like 4 or 5 of those double-sided ones shelves. And like I said, I found in the 6 week wall, I found Hawk Slayer like a couple weeks ago, and I just found that one today. I was like, this game, because I decided to look over there because actually what I was looking for was that Himoto. What was it? What the other one you're talking about with the other
Hitomi?
Hitomi, that's what it is. Yeah. I was because I had issue 2. I'm like, I wonder if issue 1's in the back, and I'm like, nope. Then I was like, wait, Hawk Slayer? And he said, no, that's probably number 1. I'm like, it's number 5. So
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye out. If I find any other issues, I'll text you and see if you still need them because I know they're going to be super hard to find.
Yeah, like I said, I was just saying before, my shop said they have a hard time just trying getting them in. They were shortened, and then they asked them, "Well, can we still get them or anything?" And they said no. So you can't even reorder. You can't do this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's a British publisher, and they probably just shipped only so many overseas, and once they're gone, they're gone. So Chroma, I'm looking forward to hopefully that being cool. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm taking a shot. Speaking of taking a shot and spending $7.99 to do it, the next book
starts with the R, doesn't it? Right?
Is Frank Miller presents Ancient Enemies, and it's got Frank Miller on the cover, and so of course I'm a sucker to get it. Now this book is all $7.99. It's Dan Didio doing it. I was like, I gotta try it. This is a book that if I don't pick it up and I decide later, like people are like, oh, it's really good, like you'll never find it because this I'm sure it'll be super hard to get. Anyways, so I picked it up. I'm like, treat myself. It's the holidays. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I can't vouch for it. It's got a cool looking cover. The premise sounds really good, and it's got Frank Miller on his name on the cover. So I'm a total fanboy. Also, I will say too, I'm impressed by the production quality of this book. The cover is like thick cardstock, glossy. The pages are thick paper. The production quality of this rivals Bad Idea. So you are paying $7.99, but you're getting really top production quality. And this is a thick boy book. This is like 3 comics worth. Like it's heavy when you feel it. It feels like a magazine. So you aren't just paying $7.99 for a little flimsy Marvel floppy here. Like you are getting a meaty book, and it feels premium in your hands. I did not walk away. Well, if it sucks, I'll tell you. But at the moment, I did not walk away with buyer's remorse. I was good on you guys for producing something that feels like it is going to be worth $7.99. And then finally, the one you probably thought I was going to show is here. Frank Miller's actual Frank Miller Ronin book 2. Now Miller is writing this. Philip Tan, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
is that right? Philip Tan. Yeah. He's doing the art. You can see the cover. He's the artist on the cover here. All the interior art looks exactly like the cover. The art in this book is fan-freaking-tastic. At first, I was like, they're doing it. Why are they doing it black and white? The original one was a nice color book. But when I was flipping through it, I'm like, this is gorgeous. You must flip through this book. Even if you don't think you're going to buy it, you're not a Frank Miller fan, whatever. I was just already pleased. I was like, wow, Philip Tan did not hold anything back in this book. So if you're at a shop and you're just curious, I will try to do a video on this because you know me, I'm a Frank Miller sucker. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get a digital copy of this to do it, so I might have to do it old school Zach style with the camera on a comic, but
camera in the car on the way home from the
LCS. Right.
And in his lap.
It is also a thick boy.
I picked it up today, and I was like, this got some weight to it.
Yeah. And did you get a chance to flip through it?
I looked through it. Now it's black and white, right?
Yeah.
Because which caught me off guard because I'm like, okay, well maybe this is a black and white cover, and maybe they have some interior colored, but no, it's just completely black and white.
Yep.
Good art. I love Philip Tan's art. I said my problem going to this thing is that I don't know the first book. I want to go back and read the first one, and then then I'll have to see if I want to get into this one because especially if this is a girl who's a spinoff character from the first movie, I guess it's the first movie, but the first book, you know, I'll
Mhm.
be more invested into it. But like, yeah, for $7.99 going into it, like
I'm
I
not
would.
sure you'll like Ronan.
Well, if it was
First book.
Ronin, if it was Ronin one right now, this was like a first standalone thing. It had nothing to do with that. It was a standalone. You didn't need to read the first one to get it. I might pick it up, you know.
Sure, I
But
can
if
understand that.
but if
It's
they're
it,
but it's my own problem with these books is that they throw a lot of Easter eggs into like basically callbacks to the first one. It's like, and I won't get that. See,
Sure, I think it probably was a mistake. I haven't read this, so I don't know, but I'm guessing that it's not so closely tied to the first book that you need to read. It's a completely new character. The main character from Ronin is not a part of this. Um, I get the feeling that it's like years later. So I don't think, based on everything that I've know so far, that you need to know Ronin to know this book. But I can understand your apprehension because
yeah,
when you see like part 2 or book 2 or whatever, I'm the same way. Like I don't ever go see a movie. I'm like, oh, Die Hard 2. If I haven't seen Die Hard 1, even though you don't need to see Die Hard 1 to appreciate Die Hard 2,
I know,
I
right?
just feel like, oh, I haven't seen the first one. So I can understand that apprehension. But like I said, I just urge people to flip it because this art is gorgeous. This art is so good. It would have like stood out in the early 90s during the Image era when like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and were just banging it out and people were just like, this. I just feel pleased. Like I was like, damn, thank you, Frank Miller, that you didn't chintz out on someone, like this, some hope, basic mediocre artist. Like you got top quality here. So even if the book is meh, I'm gonna at least love pouring through it and just looking because the pages are just so many full page spreads. Like I said, Philip Tan, he knocked it out of the park just at first glance. So very excited about this book.
So plot twist: this is a prequel story to Michonne, Walking Dead.
Right. So yeah,
I just noticed something. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ash is showing comics,
On a Wednesday.
but I don't see any In and Out.
Oh man, there's no burger yet.
I kind of feel cheated.
Ash
Oh, my
Wednesday.
goodness. Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, I'm not on my channel because it doesn't exist.
Yes, burgers don't aren't allowed on this channel.
I said you could at least lie and tell us you're enjoying a tasty In and Out burger.
Nope. I am drinking a Mountain Dew
Well,
Zero.
we don't have Stan the Man, but we
It's
have
pretty good, isn't it?
we have Ash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is good.
We
Oh,
don't
look
need-
at that.
We don't need Stan the Man. We got Ash.
It's like you got 2 Ashes.
We got the better Ash.
Oh,
Oh.
sad.
Womp womp womp.
I was talking about you though.
Oh, well, thanks. That was a nice save.
I'm just kidding though.
Oh,
Make up your mind.
Or am I?
well, at least Breen's being merciful to me tonight.
So I'm gonna remind you of how 3, 2, 1.
You guys all get it backwards. You know that, right?
No, you get your thing backwards.
You started it, but you get it backwards.
Austin asks me, why are you a Frank Miller sucker? All I hear about him is that he went crazy after Sin City. Yeah, I mean, Frank Miller's had some life problems. I think he got into film, right? Because Frank Miller was such a mega star. He was like probably one of the original mega stars of comics. And he was able to break past comics and make film. And I think that really went to his head. I really think that he just bought into his own hype and decided that, like anything that he made would just be gold. And that's not the case. The old school Frank Miller is the guy that, Neil Adams had to tell he would never make it in comics. And he just tried and eventually proved him wrong. And then I think Frank went through some years of alcoholism and stuff like that, just destroyed his body, probably his mind to some degree. I mean, when you look at him today, he looks like he's 20 years older than he really is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we went crazy, but he definitely lost a step or two or 5. But he did actually do something good after Sin City, and that was 300. So
Was that
300 is
wait?
fantastic.
I thought.
I'm a huge apologist
Oh,
for
okay.
him. I understand that his stuff is not his modern stuff is not the old stuff, but I still see glimpses of old glory in there, even in some of his newest stuff. It's small glimpses, but as a fan, it's there. Why I'm such a sucker for him is because when I got into comics and then shortly later got introduced to Frank Miller, he was untouchable, man. Like the stuff that he was doing, in my opinion, was just no one was doing it. Like if people like kind of hem and haw or just roll their eyes at Dark Knight Returns because it's such the book that everyone talks about. It's so great, Dark Knight Returns. Everyone's like, whatever. But in the mid 80s, there was nothing but Dark Knight Returns. Like it was untouchable. And you know, he had other projects like when he would go, or actually I think he did year 1 even before Dark Knight Returns. But that I actually like even more. His Daredevil run is still one of the greatest runs of comics ever. Completely transformed the character in my mind. One of the best comic story arcs I've ever read is Daredevil Born Again. It's just a masterpiece. He wasn't a prolific writer, but everything he did back then was like 6-star material. He was showing you like, oh, you think this is the best comics have ever been? I'm taking it to an entirely new level. And the fact that he did this primarily at first, he came into the business as an artist. He was super hot on Daredevil as an artist. And then he's like, oh, hey, I want to write, you know. And back in those days, you'd roll your eyes like, oh, the artist wants to write, you know. Only a few people could really pull that off, like Simonson or John Byrne. Those were super rarities. But
They
then
hadn't done
Miller,
it yet.
oh, they hadn't even done it yet. There you go. So, yeah, it was just a thing that, and not only did he come and go, oh, you can write, he actually became more known as a writer than as an artist. And that's just phenomenal. I mean, when you think when Frank Miller hit the scene, he wasn't just like, hey, it's a pretty decent artist. He was one of the hottest artists on the scene. It would be like kind of like if Jim Lee was like, you know, I want to do some writing, and then oh my God, Jim Lee's even better as a writer than he is an artist. This is unbelievable. Like now today with hindsight and so many other works that have come after by other talented people, he doesn't seem quite as bright as in the past. And I totally get this. When I was growing up and my stepfather was into comics and he's kind of more in Breen's generation, and he would like tell me about all these like Silver Age creators and stuff, and I would just be like, nah, you know, roll. I didn't get it. I didn't get it then. So I can understand for people today that didn't have the perspective of like they weren't in the comics scene in the 80s. It's just history books to them. It's hard to know. And it's a really good question. And I know I'm taking a long time to explain it, but I think it's a maybe an answer that some people are interested in hearing. So I'm into him because no one's ever blown me away in comics like Frank Miller has. And so I'll forever have that nostalgic, that impression that I'm always going to give him a shot, you know. And the fact that he's not super prolific also makes it real easy to collect, to be like, I want to get everything Frank Miller does. It's not like say that about Chuck Dixon, I dare you. You know, like you're going to spend a ton of money. But with Frank, it's like, oh, you only do something once every 5 years? Okay, that's easy to collect. So
Do you mind if I add a little to you, what you've been saying?
Go for it, man.
Now, okay, you say that with all the stuff that's come after that, that maybe the luster's off a little bit. It shouldn't be, because let's start with the Daredevil run real quick. Now, I do think, and I'm sure he has acknowledged this at some point, he owes at least a tip of the cap to Roger McKenzie, because McKenzie set up the template that Frank took and made into what it became. But people realize his third, fourth, and fifth issues as writer might be the best comic book story in continuity comic book story he ever told. Now, Ash would say Batman Year One, and yeah, I'd probably lose that argument if you polled people. But the storyline that brought the Kingpin back as a proper mega villain, that is just that's the 3 issues of pure gold. And that was like, I mean, who does that early in their career? And I said, in the rest of that run, fantastic. And as far as like, Dark Knight Returns, to Ash's point, in the mid '80s, yeah, you've seen a lot of stuff that's followed it. I don't think anybody's done that type of story quite as well. Just like anybody that's tried to out Watchmen has failed. The Alan Moore Miracle Man, and I bring it up because it's just been revived. These were all in the mid '80s, and you think about it, that's almost 40 freaking years ago. And this guy was doing. I mean, these are the guys that made that brought comics out of their teens into adulthood, and nobody more so than Frank.
Yeah, good, well said, man. Thank you, Austin. Yeah, I hope that anything that I said had a little bit of resonance. It's tough because Frank Miller has a steep decline in quality. I mean, he left the industry as far as just comics themselves. He was still tied to comics through movies and things, but he left the making comics for over a decade, I want to say. And that's when he kind of things went to his head, the drink, so when he came back, he just wasn't. It's kind of like when Jordan unretired and decided like he just wasn't the same Michael Jordan. Now, if all you ever knew was the second Jordan, you'd be like, why do people think this guy's what he is? But when Jordan was playing for the Bulls originally, he was in another league. He made people look stupid. And that's what Frank Miller was doing in the 80s. It was just he was just on another level.
So,
and so I would recommend if people are like curious about Frank Miller or things like that, I wouldn't even say Dark Knight Returns. That's something for Frank Miller. Daredevil or Batman Year One is an excellent place to start. He just changed comics. It's harder to see it now because so many people have been influenced by Frank Miller. It's kind of like the Matrix. Like before the Matrix films, the Wachowski, like they showed us a new way to make movies. And then since everyone's been copying it and ripping it off, that if you get introduced to the Matrix today, you go, I don't see what the big deal is. And it's like, well, that's because everyone's doing this now. No one was doing what Frank was doing at that time. And as far as this art goes, yeah, you have to just look at his early art. He really did get kind of sloppy, especially starting the Sin City era. But I would also encourage anyone checking out Frank Miller to notice it's not his actual rendering that's impressive. Don't look at Frank Miller and go, oh, he draws really pretty. Like he's not a Jim Lee style artist in that way. What Frank Miller does masterfully is the sequential art. He knows how to tell a story through pictures. And when you see him for that purpose, I think that's where Frank Miller art fans like myself really come in. I love Sin City because it's masterfully told through the art, not because the pictures are pretty. They can actually be kind of ugly when you get around to admit it. But go ahead.
I don't know if you don't have Frank Miller showing that it could be done. I don't know if Shooter gives Byrne the green light to do Fantastic Four on his own, or Simonson to do Thor on his own. Because I'm pretty sure that Miller was doing both before Byrne took over all of the Fantastic Four. So that's that's something that I don't. Up to that point, I'm trying to think if anybody had done both writing and art. Now, I mean, all the artists contributed to plots and they contributed to the writing, obviously, but they weren't the scripters. Like, Jack Kirby did a lot of the writing, but Stan Lee did the dialogue. He moved the story along through his words, while Jack did it with his pictures. But yeah, but it's I said, yeah, Frank. I said those things you mentioned are just amazing. And if he'd never done anything after that, that's enough.
He's
I
on
mean,
my he's on my three tiers for Millers. Miller, Ginny and Draft, Frank Miller, and Steve Miller.
Just-
wait a second. Wait a second. You told me last night you bumped Frank for Ezra.
For Ezra.
Wow. Ezra Miller.
I didn't bump Frank for Ezra Miller. What?
Anyway, let me show off my comic books.
Anyway,
RDB is such a Flash fan, I can believe it.
Since I'm standing right
yeah,
here
anyway,
listening
'cause
to
we got-
everybody else talk.
Hey, Zach, you just sit there and look pretty. That's
I'm
what
the
you're
big
here for.
picture, not
No.
saying anything. It's really weird looking. I'm like, Vinkman, take me off the big picture.
well, I was waiting for a moment for these guys to take a break from their.
It's Frank Miller. Ash isn't going to be quiet.
I know.
Well, I'm just engaging with the audience. I think that they're asking some
No.
questions.
Yeah, I don't
And
see
think-
anybody in chat saying, "Can we get to Zach's books?" No,
Well, no.
one
The problem is I have another stream scheduled after this.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I will wrap it up. I just,
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I won't keep this going.
Oh, but Austin P says that you got the wrong person if you wanted somebody pretty, which I agree with him. But
by the way, before you start, Austin, graphic novels really didn't start until the 82, 83, and they were less than Ash paid for 2 of his books today by $1.
I just want to say one final thing about Frank is that he also kind of changed the way the game was played. Previous to Frank, for the most part, comics were very house style, right? DC and Marvel both just had their sort of publisher mandates of this is how our books are. When you came to Marvel or DC and you made comics, you fit into that mold. You adapted whatever you did to fit. Frank Miller showed, especially with Dark Knight Returns, that it was we can tell comics radically different. And then DC gave him the chance to do one of his own creator-owned book, which is Ronin. And back then, I mean, we take that for granted today, but back then that was a rarity. People, you're like, what? You're giving this writer or this artist his own book that he's going to write, and it's going to be his own character. It's not going to be tied into our universe and just go. Marvel and DC, that was easily the exception. I'm struggling to think of other examples.
Well, that's how much Jeanette Kahn wanted Frank over at DC.
Yeah, so that is another big thing about Frank. Without Frank proving that you could do that, I'm not sure that we get some of these types of stories that DC's doing with Black Label and alternative ways to just go beyond the normal house continuity. Now, for good or ill, obviously.
Shit, we don't get the Dark Knight if he didn't prove it with Ronin.
Yeah. So, I mean, for good or ill, obviously we got Tom King because of that, but
fuck Frank.
I'm done, Zach. Go ahead.
That's one. I was laughing at Rhaegar. He's like, I'm gonna let you finish, but that was funny. No, I'm gonna go through these real quick. A bunch of them are ones that Vinkman already had anyway. Bottom of my list was Sergeant Rock and Army of the Dead. It's fun, but they're just little one-shot adventure stories. It kind of, I don't know. I know it's Bruce Campbell. He's not an acclaimed comics writer. They are still good though. They are still a lot of fun. So if you like zombies, if you like Bruce Campbell, I think they're definitely worth looking at. And it has one of the top, 4 or 5 great ingredients for a good comic, which is Nazis as bad guys.
Gary Frank.
Specialized as bad guys. Gary. Yeah, this is the Gary Frank cover I got. They had the war propaganda poster, but I'm trying to budget myself, and that one was $1 more. So, all right. Second from the bottom of the list, one that I was actually really excited about yesterday, and it was still pretty good, but DC Mech number 5, Green Lantern centric story here. One of them dies and sacrifices himself for the other. I'll let you guess who.
You can take the C out of that title. Am I right?
D Mech.
No, DC Mech.
Oh, DC mech.
Oh.
No, actually, I like this more than the Marvel mech. This one's got more of an anime Gundam feel to it. The last issue looks like it's gonna be awesome. Darkseid's gonna have like this giant Unicron planet devouring thing. Looks really fun. Yeah, the art in this one seemed a little off with the people. Like the mechs are obviously what you're buying the book for. But the story so far has been good. I've liked it. All right. Next up, Finkman talked about this one, Daredevil #5. I got the jail cover. And yeah, this was a pretty good issue. I like this one a lot. I like the whole jailbreak sequence a lot, where they break into the Myrmidian. Yeah, you talked about like the John Walker Daredevil fight. I really liked reading through that. That was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, a lot of good stuff in here, and it sets up the next issue.
Uh, Daredevil,
Kinda.
Daredevil did it a lot better than Sam did in his little Snowman and the Falcon show.
That's true. Daredevil really outclasses Sam Wilson. My one gripe with this is like Daredevil and the Avengers just crossed over in Devil's Reign, and we're already crossing them back again, like putting them back together. It seems unnecessary to me. But that's the one gripe. So that was my #5 book, was Daredevil #5. #4, and I got the same cover, the Detective Comics with the skull mask. This one was a pretty good issue. I really liked like the first 2/3 of it was like build up, and like there's you see Jim Gordon is back, and you see Bruce meet like this new family member who's coming to Gotham. He's trying to tell him how to make Gotham a better place. My favorite part was the last third of the book, where he's like down in the sewers, and well, the Harvey Dent scenes were really good, and then when he goes down into the sewers and he finds that one guy fighting Mr. Freeze, that was really cool. So yeah, Detective Comics, Ram B, doing outstanding work here.
The cliffhanger at the very last page.
Yeah, dude, I'm like,
Like I said, one thing they gotta have.
how many times is Batman gonna be close to death?
And I got a question on that. As far as the comic books, did Batman ever have a thermal suit? Like when he was battling Mr. Freeze, so if he freezes him, he could thaw
Yes.
stuff out.
I gotta think so.
Yes.
Because I know they had the Arkham games. I'm just curious because they need to incorporate that.
In fact, as recently as the 1000s, like
Okay.
when Peter Tomasi's run,
Yeah.
Good.
like right when he took over after 1000, he did a story with Mr. Freeze, and yeah, he had the suit.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. You might have just spoiled the next issue, but okay.
Well, I didn't say what happened. That's you just did. Jeez.
Anyway, down to my top. Oh, actually, no, I missed a book. Okay, so Detective Comics was my #5, not Daredevil. One of my comics was hiding up the other. So Detective Comics was #5. This is my #4. I have All Out Avengers. This is issue #3. I got the Timely Comics Invaders cover, which is pretty sweet.
Look, he's holding Sam's shield.
He is. He stole Sam's shield back from him and de-aged Bucky. And remember
No,
who
he
Toro
got the
was.
D-list shield because he's not Captain America. Sam is.
Oh,
No.
wait a second.
This is
Or does that actually mean that the reason there's two shields is because Sam inherited Nazi Cap's shield?
Nazi Cap shield, I thought, was the triangle shield when he was revealed to be Hydra.
Yeah.
No, when he was revealed to be Hydra, he had the round shield.
Oh, I thought he had the triangle one.
But it was
Okay.
painted.
No, he was Cap. It wasn't
yeah,
in
but
turn.
He
It wasn't
had the
until later they came up with the whole cosmic cube fix.
Yeah, but I thought he had the triangle shield and Sam had the regular round shield. I'll have to go back and double check.
No.
'Cause he had the triangle shield relatively recently, but
Hydra Cap was 2017. Remember
yeah,
the Hail Hydra scene?
yeah. But they had two Captain America ongoings leading up to that, and Steve Rogers did have the triangle shield, like his original.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
you ruined my bit.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry.
I was trying to make sense of that cover. Maybe it's like an Easter egg. Like
Maybe. I mean, I also thought
I don't
maybe
think
it
it
was
is.
just a fun Invaders theme.
Oh.
Actually, so
I think the colorist just got it wrong. Is what
it
really
could
happened.
be. It could be. Well,
I'm
no,
just
this was
glad-
the original Shield was like this.
I'm just glad there's no blood on this seat.
Come on, man.
So if the original shield was like
Come on,
that,
boys.
if the original shield was like that, that means that is Nazi Cap shield because original Cap is
ended
Nazi.
up being Nazi. Yeah,
He
Nazi
got
hiding
revealed
behind.
like all along that all these 60
Yeah.
years plus or whatever of Captain America.
Yeah, but anyway, the cover actually, I mean, of course, in typical Marvel fashion, the cover has nothing to do with the interior. Oh, maybe that's not
It is a cool
entirely true.
cover.
It kind of does. The villain on the inside is the Red Skull. It's a bunch of crazy Red Skull LMDs who think they're the real Red Skull, and so they're trying to take over the world. Um, and at the end of this issue, so at the end of the last issue, Iron Man's like, "Hey, I don't remember anything," and I'm just like waking up in the middle of the stories, kind of like how these issues pick up in the middle of the stories.
No, that's not the Avengers though, right? Isn't it the Invaders?
This is the Invaders on the cover.
Yeah. So why?
But
Yeah,
the
it's weird
book
to
is
me that.
an Avengers book, though.
Right. That's.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's supposed to be like. I don't know why they would put the Invaders. I mean, it just says variant edition. I don't know why they would do a variant with the Invaders.
Well, I mean, it's close to the Avengers. Like, shares a couple of the characters.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, you got Cap. He's the only one who's really in the book. None of the other guys are.
No, but I mean, as far as who have been Avengers.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right. But yeah, it was a good fun story. And the way it ends now, more of the Avengers are realizing that someone's altering their memories, and they're not remembering things. Thor's particularly pissed about it. He's like, who dares mock the God of Thunder this way? So really fun, and the Greg Land art, I gotta say, is growing on me. It's less photorealistic, and if that makes sense. So yeah, so that was my number 4. Number 3 book this week is Action Comics. This is 1049, Philip Kennedy Johnson. And I've been liking this. I like Lex Luthor being a devious, diabolical bastard. Superman being, the Superman we all love, standing up for like kids and hope and everything. This has been really good. This is part 5 of Kal-El Returns. They say that the story continues from the John Kent, Son of Kal-El book, but honestly, I've just been reading Action Comics. I don't feel like I've missed anything. So it's really cool. They think Orion and Desaad and Calabac think that this one little adopted boy that Superman brought back from Warworld, they think he's the next incarnation of some great ruler. So they try to kidnap him, and Superman steps in, says no, and sends them back with their tail between their legs. And then Lex Luthor trying to get Metallo to work for him, and Metallo's like, "No, I don't really want to do that anymore." And Luthor's like, "Ha! You had no choice." Luthor's being a diabolical son of a bitch. Really good stuff though. I've been enjoying this. I need to go, like I've been saying, I need to go back and start from the beginning of Johnson's run, because I was skeptical when he jumped on it. I didn't know who he was, so I was skeptical. But now that I'm reading this, I'm liking it. So I'm gonna have to go back and pick up some of his earlier issues. All right, book number 2. Surprising me, because I did not expect to like this book this much, was Dark Crisis: The Dark Army, written by Mark Waid. So it's probably why it was so good. And then, I mean, the one weird thing about it is that different parts of the book, you have different artists, so the art styles change like partially through the story. So first you'll have Damian Wayne looking like he's 14 years old, and then he gets aged up to like he's in his 20s, and now he's back down to being 10 looking. But besides that, the story is actually really cool. Damian takes like 3 or 4 other heroes off on a mission to find out, how to unchain the Dark Army, because the Dark Army, they're corrupted by these dark chains. Really cool. They have some nice tiebacks to the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, like with those giant tuning forks and the shadow demons. There's some really cool callbacks. Actually, I think that they shown a spotlight. That's a pun. On a certain character that I think maybe this whole series should have revolved around from the start, which is Dr. Light. Seems to be a perfect character. If you want to counteract something called a dark crisis, you would have someone called Dr. Light. So they did some really cool stuff with her character. Power Girl was written really well. Even Red Canary wasn't as obnoxious as I think a lot of people were expecting her to be. And then Sideways was fun. Sideways was very much kind of like Spider-Man, actually, except instead of spider powers, he just warped people places.
Wait,
So,
Sideways is in it?
Yeah, Sideways is in it.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't get what the big deal. What's the big deal with Sideways? I mentioned Sideways, and people are like, "Wait, Sideways? What?" Like,
well,
what?
so he was one of the New Age of Heroes. Remember when?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I
that.
remember now. I always
And New Age
remember
of Heroes was
Damage.
great, and then Dan
Yeah.
Didio canceled it so so Bendis could come.
I
Yeah,
always
Sideways was
remember
one of those books.
I always
And
remember
the
Damage.
reason I'm excited is not because I'm a massive Sideways fan, but rather it's nice to see that DC hasn't just thrown them into the basement, to
Right.
rot. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's the key to them ever coming back, is letting them guest star in other books
Yeah.
and keeping fans like, oh, I want more of this character, so maybe we'll get these books might make a return someday. I would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. He is one of the main characters. They actually he does take a sizable part of the story.
Yeah,
So
Sideways is a great character. He's pretty much he's like Lockjaw. He teleports people.
yeah, he's a teleporter, not a warper, but yeah, a teleporter.
He creates rift realities, and my only complaint about that is a minor nitpick. Is that at the end, he was like, "Well, I'm too spent. I can't get home. It's like a needle in a haystack. If I try to use my powers now because I'm so drained, we might just get randomly." He's like, "Well, don't worry. We have Dr. Spectrum here."
Oh yeah,
Or
the
Dr.
multivision.
Multiverse. Yeah. She's
multivision. Yeah.
yeah. So she's like, "I'll guide us back home."
Yeah.
But
Justice League Incarnate.
evil. Like I said, I like the Dark Captain Carrot.
Dark Captain Carrot freaked me the heck out, man. That was terrifying looking. Yeah, that was another thing. Like Harbinger was in there. That was a cool little callback. I thought some really neat little callbacks to the original Crisis. I really liked it. And yeah, I'm with you. I need to finish collecting all the Terrifics. I've got a few of their issues, but I need to finish
Spending
it out.
more on Dr. Light, how she got her powers during Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, she got her powers during the original.
And explaining what they are, and now she's got basically an upgrade now.
Yeah. So I hope they do more with Dr. Light and with Sideways. That would be really cool. Power Girl, I know they're about to get a spotlight.
I've been hearing people say more Sideways. When I look at some of the comments on some of these stories, people do. Sideways is a new character they introduced, and people are just like, they just want more of him. Like, they didn't like the fact that he was in like the cameo in Dark Crisis. You're like, dude, why even mention him if you're never gonna use the character?
Yeah,
and
right.
And unfortunately, that goes back to what Ash says. You have too many characters. Now you added the legacy characters.
I'm so proud of you.
And he's wrong.
Hey, look. At least with this Red Canary legacy character, at least she didn't just like straight up call herself Black Canary. And like you said in your little review, she's got flaws. She's not like Miss Perfect Hotshot. She's messing stuff up, and she's a Damien calls her a liability instead of an asset. So I did like that. I did like the little introduction of her. But anyway, my number one book. Kind of surprised that this is my number one favorite book. But even though I've been enjoying the whole run, but Scorched. Which one is this? This is number 12. This was a solid issue. I really enjoyed this issue. This is kind of the culmination almost of the first storyline. The bad guy that they've been fighting against, Vinkman kind of showed off the pages where it's like he was raised as this little fanatic boy in a church, and he like puts out his own eyes to prove how much he loves God. He's crazy, but he's like the big bad guy, and he's like torturing some of the team members. And then you see Medieval Spawn just like burst in with riding a dragon. It's just really, really awesome stuff. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Was like a good final issue to the first storyline. I'm really looking forward. The final page was really cool because the bad guy, I think his name is Arisen. He's like on the ground. He's like, "Well, I believe in God. Like, what do you all believe in?" And then the last page, you just see Spawn. And he's like, "They bow to me." And it's like, that was actually pretty awesome, I thought, because Spawn's barely been in the series so far, so I look forward to seeing more.
It's basically like having like, we're gonna have the Bat Family, and then like for like all these issues. Issue 6 it was
of what
was Scorch? What issue is that?
This is issue number 12.
Number 12.
Yeah.
Spawn was in there for like the first issue, and then he made a cameo in like 2 issues ago.
He was in there for the first issue, and then I think like 3 issues ago, because he took one of the members that was having a hard time adjusting to the team, and he like locked him in a shadow dimension or something.
Yeah, Limbo. Yeah.
Limbo, yeah. So, yeah, he hasn't been in it very much. But then
But yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say the way the guy's like the bad guy. He's like, who do you pray to? Like, who do you talk to? Calling your faith, and Spawn's like, they talk to me because Spawn's their god.
Pretty much, that was his Batman moment, pretty much. But yeah, I did also pick up. I had no idea this was being released today when I walked into the shop. Fantastic Four 52. Really fun story. I would love to voice Black Panther if we ever read this. This would be fantastic. And then also, not related, but I finally got this in the mail from Eid this week. One of my grails, the very first appearance of the New Warriors in the Mighty Thor 412. Really fun. I love the New Warriors. So Thor versus Juggernaut, and then the New Warriors help him out. Awesome, awesome story. So that is my books of the week. I think RDV would like Sideways. Actually, he likes Spider-Man a lot.
I mean, I only just talked about the character, not even 5 minutes ago. Why would you think I wouldn't like him?
Well, you had made a comment in chat about how you didn't really care. So
in chat, I've been in chat.
Oh, well, your representative, whoever's managing the Geeky Puppet Show.
Somebody's on the Geeky Puppet Show.
That's not me. That's the real boy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Puppetine and is upset because him and the frog have to go live.
I see. What are y'all talking about tonight?
They're talking about Winchesters. Supernatural spinoff. Pretty cool series. Yeah, tonight's topic will be about pacifists and angry issues, because that's what the episode was about. Yay!
Yay!
You sound so excited.
He is sobbing real tears.
I just watched the last 10 minutes of the episode while Zach was giving his review.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
The great thing about watching stuff on playback, you can watch it at 3 times speed.
Oh yeah, that's what I do with YouTube sometimes.
Supergirl is one of those things where you can, you up the speed.
3 times speed?
Yes. You up it the 3 times the normal speed, and it's still normal speed for Supergirl.
Oh, for her, yeah.
That show was so dang. They just, hi. I'm. Yeah, like just like literally that's how they should be speaking in normal. But whatever reason, but I watched it in, times 3 times the normal speed. They were still speaking slow.
If you watch it 3 times as the normal speed, was Alex 3 times as gay?
Actually,
she just comes out 3 times quicker.
Well, she's briefly in there. The faster they watch the show, the faster the dialogue goes by. Yeah, it's like I said, it's cool. It's like I like watching things when they're just running around like chickens, their heads cut off. But I will say this though, for those who are fans of Cisco on the Flash, Carlos on the Winchesters is pretty much Cisco 2.0.
Is it the same actor?
No, it's another actor, but same
Cisco,
basic.
Cisco, I wish Yellow Flash would have killed him.
I
keep
like
waiting.
Cisco.
Dude, he's so annoying.
Cisco was cool.
He has his moments, but overall, come on. I went through the whole thing where he got rid of his powers, and I was like, God, you're such a melodramatic crybaby.
You wanted a YouTuber to kill him?
Yeah, YouTuber. I meant I meant Reverse
Flash.
Flash. I call him Yellow Flash because Reverse Flash sounds stupid. But yeah,
that's creepy.
I just really went through that phase on Flash when he was like, I don't want to be whatever I forget his what is the superhero name again?
Who? Vibe.
Well, yeah.
Vibe.
And
God,
Ash, I wish he would just vibe with him already. Jeez.
Yeah, I wish.
Hey.
I was like, man, he was so much better before he became Vibe. And And then that whole story.
He was better before he became Bob.
Yeah, just I don't want to have powers, and then it's immediately he gets rid of his powers immediately right after. Of course, he needs them.
Right.
And it's
You know what his greatest power was? Remaining straight for 7 years on a CW superhero show.
That's true. That is
true.
Same with Caitlin Frost too.
Wally too.
Wally too.
No.
Yeah.
Flash too.
Yeah.
Well, no, the main characters are safe. It's everybody else. It's fair game.
Well, I take it back. Let's go to Arrow. Pied Piper.
Well, Pied Piper was always well, not always. I think he got retconned into being gay though before he showed up on the CW.
Poor William.
But he was on Flash though. He went on Green Arrow. He was on
They
Flash.
they groomed William on Arrow.
Wait, who?
That's horrible. His son.
Connor? Oh no,
William.
Arrow. Oh,
on Arrow.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, Dad, yeah, I hate my dad. And then he's grown up. He's like, my dad, I'm gay now. It's like, okay, cool, that's great. Like that was kind of like out of nowhere, out of left field, like Alex. But I'll give him props though. William on Arrow did not. It was every episode. You did not know he was gay. He did not say I'm gay. He's not talking about, hey, look at that guy over there. No. He wasn't complaining about, I want to have a child, but I can't find a woman to be with. My relationships never work out because I'm a bitch and I'm gay. But if you want, if you guys want to read about Bitchwing, check out that Gotham Knights issue 2, where he fights against Batman because Batman came into Bloodhaven with the new Robin, and he's like, no, don't. Mm-mm.
with the sassy tone and everything.
Oh my gosh.
He went Brian Phillips.
Was Barbara behind him going, you tell him, Dick?
Barbara actually went back to Gotham because in the first issue she was helping him out, and then she left. I mean, it's kind of a bad sign, when you move to Bloodhaven and your girl's like, I'll go talk to the hot black lesbian that's scientist helping us out with the formula. Because we don't have Luke Fox for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Or Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason Leslie Thompson's like, I hate this. I can't do anything. These people out there are hurting. I'm like, what is this book? But like I said, you get a free code with it for Fortnite.
It's a video game tie-in. That's what it is. Those are usually bad.
Video game that's already on sale for $35.
I'll just say this: whatever reason, this story just jumped and had Batman come to Bloodhaven. He's like, I've been following the trail of Scarecrow's toxin, and then he was like, oh hell no, get on my freaking city. I left the Gotham because I hate your ass. It's just like, and then he starts fighting him. I'm thinking, is he under the control of the gas? Is that why he's going crazy? No, he's just a dick. In a literal sense.
Yeah, Austin, $35. It's normally like a $60 or $70 premium title. It's already like half price, and it's only been out for what, 2 months?
Yes, it worked. I knew if I went off camera, you would shrink the screens down.
All right. I heard that game has a lot of flaws right now. People are waiting for patches because that's what mainly every game that comes out, you have to wait for a freaking update.
Yeah, that's what
every game's a beta test now. You pay to beta test.
There's no except for God of War so far has been a solid.
Wait. They use the beta mails to test the beta games? Oh.
I didn't mean beta test it that way. But...
Hey, wow.
Sad. A lot of studios, they put out unfinished games.
That means that Puppet can get a job.
There you go.
All right. So Rhaegar, where have you been? Gotham Knights.
Yeah, the Gotham Knights game where you play as all the Robins and Batgirl.
But yes, but it's true. Yes, Nightwing doesn't have any game at all in this comic book. So that being said, we're gonna end it here. Is there anything we need to chill out? I mean, for you guys, obviously, I don't know if people are having Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. I don't know if he's streaming. I haven't got any word from him at all. If he's streaming still, I do know that there is going to be retrospective this Friday And Zach is sad again. He can't hang out with us
I'm gonna be at my parents. Probably. I'll try.
for his dad's birthday, and then
It is my
next
dad's
month,
birthday.
next Friday, it's his mom's birthday.
No, my mom's is in January. Actually, the Friday after my dad's is my sister's.
Would you like to know how many birthdays your mother has had this year?
This year she's
According to Zach, April 7th, June 24th, August 16th.
All right,
So we're saying you use that excuse a lot.
I don't use my mom's birthday or my family's birthdays a lot. I do not.
all right. So
Last time I was absent is because a friend of mine had a kid he wanted to celebrate.
for everybody who's itching to know what the book is for Friday, Pixel and I decided on, because Brain just doesn't look at Twitter anymore. We decided on basically Avengers 35. Roger Stern dipping his toes into Avengers before he takes over fully in 36 by himself.
You mean Roy Thomas?
So, is
Yeah,
it
you
Roy
said
Thomas?
Roger-
Yeah, oh,
you
my
said
bad.
Roger
Yeah,
Stern.
my bad. I've been up for 24 hours, bro.
That's okay. Roger Stern. If that had been Roger Stern, he'd have been a bigger prodigy than Jim Shooter was with the Legion.
Pretty sure.
Wow.
Looking. Yeah,
Because he'd have been
look at that.
about 10.
You know what though? If Damian Wayne could be a Robin, he could be a writer. Oh, yeah, Roy Thomas. Yeah, Roy Thomas. Yeah, took over, and then he went from like what 20 issues, I think. Ian.
No, he ended up being there into the 100s.
Yeah, I thought he was there for a while.
So he wrote the Kree Skrull War that you don't like. Because you're like someone with four senses. No taste.
Oh.
Fat Albert. That's what that's from.
What's wrong with having
That's
four
a good one.
senses? You like four colors, though.
Oh, he boomeranged it back at Breen. Like school on a Saturday, Vinkman. No class.
Yeah.
That's also that's also Fat Albert.
Hey,
No.
hey.
Yes, everybody in chat. I've watched Fat Albert. Are your brains exploding yet?
We don't believe you.
I know. Every time I
We
comment
just
on
nod
something-
and go, okay.
Ash, he watches the version that they showed in the Deep South where they made them all white.
I commented on Kanye West got his Twitter restored, and I retweeted his return. And Ash is like, "You're doing a real good job trying to convince people." It's like, thanks, Ash.
That's okay.
They call his Yee tweets.
Ye tweets. I like that.
What is he eating out tonight?
Yeet. I
On
don't even
Yeeter.
know.
On Yeeter.
I don't know what he's eating out tonight.
No. But overall, like I said, we're pushing this further and further. We don't go in the weeds, but yeah, Avengers number 35. I'm okay with doing 36 as well because it continues the story. But if you just want to do 35, I'm fine with that too. Brain, do you have any preference? Obviously, I want you. No. Okay. So 35, and then anybody else wants to join, who wants to read it, because since we have opening, since Zach is no longer with us. R.I.P.
I
Zach.
can replace Zach.
You want to join us on Friday?
There you go. Bestie has
I think I can make it. What time is it?
I believe 7 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, y'all do 7 Eastern.
yeah. So it'd be
That's why it's always rough doing those.
I know.
So that'd be 4 my time.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
think I
work
can
Friday,
make
do you?
Black Friday?
Well, it depends. Like,
It's a holiday.
Not for
Yeah.
me, it isn't.
Not for retail, it isn't.
I
don't-
guess
I
I
don't
guess
know
you can see
that.
I assume on Black Friday it's a holiday. People are off. Oh.
Yeah, who do you think
Yeah,
works all
how do
those
you-
stores that you guys descend on like a plague of fucking locusts?
Well, I actually heard that speaking of that, tomorrow on Thursday, I believe Walmart's closing on Thursdays
what? No way.
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
are.
stores are going back to closing on Thanksgiving, which is actually awesome, I think.
Let's go back to the 80s before the internet. There's no phones,
Everyone.
and we had just all those weird foods your aunt would bring over and grandma's.
Well,
and
it
you had,
probably has to do something with all stores are understaffed, at least in my area.
that's what I'm thinking too.
That
Yeah.
could
Well,
be it
it's
too.
some Walmarts more than others.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that they probably like these corporate giants are like, we can barely staff our stores. It is maybe we shouldn't require everyone to work on Thanksgiving and then make them all rage quit.
Yeah.
And-
Well, part of it also is that there's so much online shopping. There's so much. There's something inevitably happens every year at a handful of Walmarts, although it kind of pales in comparison to what happened yesterday. But it's almost like become a, is it worth it? Because the novelty's worn off on it. Now it's just a big, it's probably more trouble than it's worth. And they can just make it back up the rest of the season. So it's a good, it makes them look good. But believe me, if it was still making the big jack, they'd still be open.
Forget
Yeah.
Bendis. The frog is coming.
Oh God.
I always took like Black Friday to be one of those things that retail giants partook in because they couldn't afford not to.
Yeah.
In a sense where it was like, well, if our competition is going to be open and we're not,
Right.
you
You're
might as
losing money.
well. Otherwise, we're going to lose all this business to our competition, and they didn't want that. So now, with everyone just doesn't participate in it, then it's like, oh, there's no real incentive because you're right, especially Walmart. I mean, they're the second biggest online after.
Yeah, everyone I know shops online. So what's the point of even going to the store? I like I said, let's close all the stores. Let's go to the online shopping and make everybody wait from 4:00 in the morning in the bitter cold of here where I am. You want to get that TV for $200? You got to sit out where it's like freaking negative, 20.
Speaking of cheap TVs, holy cow! I went to Costco the other day, and they had a freaking 65-inch 4K Hisense for $350.
Shoot. Wow.
Yeah, 350 4K 60. Dude, I was like,
Wow.
geez, this is cheap.
Get that
Yeah,
82
that's
inch.
awesome.
Well, you're not. Yeah, the 82 inch is going to be expensive, but
It's only 2K for a 4K TV. It's 82 inch.
that's for one of the cheap ones. Yeah.
All right, so we do ask you if you guys haven't already done so. We ask you, again, we asked you before. If you haven't done so, click like or click dislike. Just an interaction. Leave a comment. What was your best books of the week? Let us know. Or did you get a back issue? Tell us what back issue you got. Just leave a comment. It helps out the channel. And if you want to support the channel, I mean, as far as we have a Ko-Fi. We're going to cross screen right there. It's ko-fi.com/Palpatine. Money goes to basically to getting Froggy some new legs. He lost Van Nam, and it just want to help the little guy out for Christmas. He's basically Tiny Froggy, Tiny Tim.
Junkyard Croak.
Yes.
Said Junkyard Joe.
Yes. But no, seriously, it goes basically to Marvel and the reading apps. Which we'll be reading again on Friday, and I won't be here Sunday, so there'll be an opening on there if you guys are doing reading. Ash, since you wanted to be on the one last week, you can worm your way in now.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
Worm
going
my
to be
way
here
in.
Sunday.
Sunday,
Pretty soon,
there's-
Zach is just going to be a memory.
for Sunday, I am celebrating Thanksgiving on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. So is Pixel going to be there?
I imagine Palpatine will be, but I don't know what Pixel though. Do you really want those
Well-
freaky long fingers?
You're celebrating Thanksgiving on
Yeah.
Sunday?
Yeah, it's because we cater to one side of the family. But what I mean is my one sister, because she likes to go to her in-laws every year, and instead of just us celebrating without her,
I see.
I
Well,
know,
I
it's-
guess
it's-
on one hand that's kind of nice. On the other hand, it's kind of enabling.
right?
But do you get 2 Thanksgivings?
I'm having
or you
tomorrow. I'm doing turkey.
Do you think that this stream will be over by Sunday?
No, it won't. It won't. In
Nope.
fact, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Eric,
surf
you
this
know
forever.
your 4-color fossil stream would still be going under normal circumstances, so I don't want to hear it.
Right, but Vangman said he has someplace to be,
Yeah,
all right.
or his other personality because he's like fucking Sybil.
I gotta go to Denny's. I gotta have that Thanksgiving dinner.
All right.
All right,
All
guys.
right. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of food. Drive safe. And I don't know what else. Send me the leftovers.
Be merry. Get your Christmas lights
Speaking
up.
of, now I'm gonna keep this thing going. We're having lunch today at Penn Station, and I hear a sound. I look up, and there's this car out on the highway right in front of the store, spinning around from having just been smashed.
Oh, wow.
And I'm looking for instant replay. When I missed it, where's it? That's how conditioned I am to seeing replays for everything. And when we left, we saw the car that hit it. And both of them were like facing the same direction, both of them beyond totaled.
Wow.
And it was like, wow, I mean, just literally like right in front of the store. And
Jeez.
and then the driving didn't get any better anywhere else I went today. So
Yeah.
so drive safe tomorrow because nobody did today.
Yeah, for real.
And check on Instagram where they're teaching dogs how to drive cars now. True story.
Couldn't have been any worse.
Austin P says, "Be good." Mariko Tamaki.
All right.
Thanksgiving.
I gotta go. I'm being held.
Let Artie V go.
All right.
Let it go. Let him go.
Go.
See ya.